Yeah.
I think I need a chair. My feet are pretty high.
You're fine.
Yeah, Jill.
It's only Paige, no? The one that.
Test, test. Yeah,
And this
we're
one?
good.
Test, test. Okay. You guys will come up in here.
Test, test. Yeah? Okay.
Or you can just.
Yeah.
Good evening, FSD families. Thanks for joining us tonight for our board meeting. I know we're all excited to celebrate all of our students and their great accomplishments. We are going to begin in about 5 minutes or so, or a few minutes. I'm not going to say 5, a few minutes once our board members are ready. So please just bear with us and we will start momentarily. Thank you. Talk more about them in a second, but we're going to hear from them in these 3 selections today. So please give it up again for the mariachi band from Nicholas Junior High School. Actually, we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance first. Alicia?
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with justice and liberty for all.
Buenas tardes, nosotros somos el Mariachi Los Night, venimos de la escuela Nicholas Junior High. A continuación vamos a interpretar una pieza instrumental titulada Caminando, un tema de mariachi sin voz ni letra, hecho solo para disfrutarse con el alma y los oídos. Esperemos que lo disfruten.
Good evening. This mariachi is from Nicholas Junior High School, Mariachi Nights. Up next, we'll be performing an instrumental piece called Caminando, a mariachi tune with no vocals or lyrics, meant to be felt with the soul and heard with the heart. I hope you enjoy it.
Our second piece is a mariachi classic, Árboles de la Barranca. This is a very traditional song, often passed down through generations. It tells the story of heartbreak and longing, using the image of trees on a cliffside to symbolize love that's been lost. It's a powerful and emotional song that showcases the deep storytelling tradition of mariachi music. Please enjoy Árboles de la Barranca.
And finally, we'll end with cariño, which means affection or darling. This song is about expressing love and tenderness to someone special. It has a joyful, romantic feel and reminds us of how mariachi can capture not only sorrow, but love and celebration too. Thank you again for supporting us and enjoy our new program. We hope you enjoy the música. ¡Que viva el mariachi!
Obsesión. Tú eras para mí diferente, sin pensar que algún día tú serías mi amor. El tiempo derrirá la realidad y yo te adoraré. Una eternidad te quiero y no puedo negarlo. Si es preciso, grítalo, gritaré sin cesar. El tiempo derrirá la realidad y yo te adoraré. Una eternidad.
What a wonderful, wonderful performance, you guys. Can we give them one more hand? So I'm going to officially start the meeting. It's back from recess, so sorry about that. It will be 6:10, so we'll just backtrack it a little bit. Sorry for being a little bit late. We will report from closed session back once we go back in. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to celebrate. And then after we're done with all of our celebrations, those who want to join us will go back into the boardroom. And I'm sure lots of you will come with us. And we'll finish our meeting. So again, one more hand for our mariachis from Nicholas. We're so excited to have this program. We're so excited. I know that part of this program comes from a grant from our Phelps Foundation. So you guys have been wonderful to think that it's just been just this last 6 months. And you guys have come so far. So we so appreciate you. Okay. All right. Want to say something? No. Oh, okay. So I can dismiss them? We're going to talk more about you guys, so stay.
All right, so really quickly, this is the Nicholas Junior High School Mariachi Group. They just started in, Ms. Rodas, January, is that correct? Yeah. And so a lot of these students are very musical. They might be in band already and play a different instrument, but they've taken up a new instrument and a new genre as well, too. And so having just started in January on 4 instruments, and let's hear what the instruments are. Can you tell us what this one is?
Vihuela.
The vihuela. And what's yours, Miss Rita?
Oh, mine is the guitarrón.
The vihuela, guitar, or what is yours? How about yours?
Trumpet.
And
Flute and violin.
and then
Flute and violin.
violin. So these students just started in January, and they started an after-school ensemble class. So we're very excited to see them perform. This is their third time performing ever, and so you're seeing a maiden voyage here of our students. So give them one more hand, please. Would you mind? All right, if we like a picture opportunity, maybe if students, you want to go over by the board for a picture, if you want to gather over by the board. So let's make our way this way with your instruments is okay. Let's walk this way to the sun is is that okay? Yeah. Why don't y'all go over there? You can leave it there. Just take your instruments. You don't need your bow. It's okay. Just your flute's fine. Yeah, I got it here. I'll take yours. And parents, if you'd like a picture up front too, feel free to come on up and take a picture of your students as well. All right, and thank you again also to Mrs. Rodas, our teacher from Nicholas Junior High School, and under the direction of Mr. Varela, Mr. Jose Varela, and Miss Maria Garcia from Nicholas Junior High School. Thank you again for this program. All right, thank you very much, students. You are dismissed. Yes, students, thank you. All right, well, tonight is a wonderful celebration of many things, mariachi being one of them. You're going to hear more mariachi in the coming years as well, too, at Nicholas, as well as other schools next year, too. We want to celebrate a few more things today, and this is honestly our best board meeting of the year because we celebrate all of our student achievements, and so it's my favorite. Hope it's yours as well. I want to start with another celebration of what's called the Wonder of Water, and so I'm going to bring up Mr. Mike McAdam, Dr. Bob as well, and Janice. The Wonder of Water is an annual art competition and photography competition showcase open to all FSD students where students can celebrate and create artwork based on the love of water and the nature of water. And so I'm going to bring Mr. Mike McAdam to share more about his foundation and what they do for the Wonder of Water.
Perfect. Thank you, Phil. So hi, my name is Mike McAdam. I'm the Director of Purchasing and Contracts for the district, but most importantly here to talk a little about Kids Fish On, and it's a nonprofit organization where myself and a few other somewhat experienced anglers, such as Dr. Bob Pleka, right behind me, we take students to fish for the first time and help them understand how to cast, reel in usually a monstrous trout of 5 to 10 pounds for their first fish, which is pretty epic on that side of it. So the goal is to get them hooked, get them the opportunity to feel what it is to catch their first fish, and truly an inspiration for me. I remember the first time I caught my first fish, and it was just an exciting moment at that moment in time on that. So we have a great opportunity to give back, and we'll be giving money for the award winners based on their pictures, and go from there. So Dr. Bob, would you like to add anything else?
You did great.
Okay. Oh, perfect. Done. Thank you. Pass it over to Phil.
All right, so students, if you are a Wonder of Water winner, come on up please to the front right over here. We're going to announce and celebrate you today. So all students who are winners, all 9 of you, please come on up right over here. Why don't you be right behind the board right here, and we'll announce your winner and your category as well. No, they're tall. They're taller than we are, I think, at this point. All right, so we have 2 categories. We have the love of water and then nature of water. And so I'm going to start with our love of water first. And so for elementary, first place goes to Tesla Cuifo. Tesla, are you here? Which is Tesla? Tesla may not be here. Okay, we'll celebrate Tesla remotely from Laguna Road. Second place, Aria Lee from Fissler. Aria. And then, Jack, you want to come get your So students, come get your certificate, and then maybe if you can stand by your painting, that'd be wonderful as well too. Which one is yours, Aria? Which one is yours? Do you want to stand by your photo? Yeah, that'd be great. Yes, love it. Oh, the dolphin. Is that right? Mm-hmm. All right, and our junior high winners, first place is Ashley Lee. Ashley, get your certificate, and then if you would stand by your painting, that'd be wonderful. Second place is Bree Heath. Bree here. We'll celebrate Bree from afar as well. For the nature of water, our elementary first place winner is Kate Cho. Kate, congratulations, Kate. And our second place, Annabelle Larzo from Woodcrest. Give her a hand, please. All these students won money, by the way. Money. All right, our junior high winners. First place, Ava Bayon from Ladera Vista. Congratulations, Ava. And let's see which one is Ava's. You're going to see in a second. There's Ava's piece. And second place for junior high is Julianne De Leon from Nicholas Junior High School. And we have one grand prize winner. We have Natalie Lim from Parks Junior High School. We also want to recognize all of our students. Give all of them a hand, please, really quickly. And lastly, I want to recognize Ms. Janice Lee from our district arts team, who has worked hard to coordinate all of this for the Wonder of Water. So thank you, Ms. Janice. There you go. This is for you. Yeah, you're going to take it. Yeah. All right, so parents, there is money inside these envelopes, inside their certificates. So make sure you take them from your kids, please. And don't spend it, but make sure it's for them. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm in your way. Picture time. All right, one more hand for our Wonder of Water winners. Thank you. Oh, and students, please leave your art pieces back on the bench. They will be displayed for FSD Fest this Saturday. So students, leave your pieces on the bench for display at our Wonder of Water exhibit on Saturday. But we're not done yet. So K-pop students, please come on up. K-pop students and performers, if you could come up to the front, please. This will be our last student recognition. All right, maybe. And teachers as well. Students and teachers would be great. All of our K-pop students and teachers. Yeah. All right, so our K-pop Battle of Bands is our newest program this year, built to provide opportunities for students to, at the intersection of performing arts and widening their cultural apertures, learn more about Korean culture, art, history, and K-pop. And so from over 120 students, these 25 students made it through the entire process and performed last April 9th at the Source at our finale competition. Great job to all students. Now, we want to recognize a few people. First of all, we have some amazing teachers who are part of this as well. So from Beechwood School, Miss Jennifer Min, want to recognize her. From Fissler, Miss Christy Kim. From Ladera Vista, Miss Jenny Rivera. From Nicholas Junior High, Miss Angela Kim. From Parks Junior High School, Mr. Salvador Hernandez and Miss Jenny Shim. One other huge recognition goes to, and by the way, teachers, you get flowers, so if we can get help with giving them some bouquets, these are for you. One other recognition is also for Ms. Joyce Park. Where is Ms. Joyce Park? Would you come up, please, Joyce? Joyce is a K-pop extravagant, no, I'm sorry, not extravagant. You're extraordinaire. That's what you are. She has really helped coordinate and instruct all of our talent this year, from the judges to the instructors to our students, to make this whole event happen. So we could not do it without Joyce's help. So big shout out for Ms. Joyce Park and all her help. They're not going to dance today, but at FSD Fest, you'll see one of them. All right, so want to honor our students. So from Beechwood School, when we call your name, you're going to come up to Ms. Janice and get your certificate. And stay on in the front, please. From Beechwood, we have Miss Sierra Chavez, Miss Jenna Hang, Ezra Kim, Lauren Moon, and Madison Solis. Team Fissler is Winter Calderon, Soyun Choi, Brandon Kim, Caleb Kim, and Farah Kim. From Team Ladera Vista, we have Annabelle Chavez, Quay Doan, Elena Loza, Esther Morillas, and Fiona Sapp. Team Nicholas Junior High consists of Aiden Gutierrez, Jordan Olmos, Leilani Ortiz, Juliana Solis, and Jaylene Vega. And Team Parks, our overall winner this year, is Jia Bang, Caitlin Jung, Haley Kim, Leah Kim, and Jacqueline Song. All right. This is our first annual K-pop Battle of the Bands winning group. So give them one more hand, please. And photo ops. Parents, come on up for your photos. Students, come in a little closer. Gather in a little bit. Board members, if you want to join them in the front as well, too, or behind. And Dr. Pletka, if you want to join him in the back as well, too, for the picture. All right, and Team Parks does win $100 also each from the Kids Fish On Foundation. So thank you to Dr. Plucka, Mike, and his foundation team for their donation to them as well, too. But a big round for all students. Thank you, students.
Okay. Chad? Dr. Hammett, are you next?
I'll start it out. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dr. Chad Hammett. I'm the Deputy Superintendent, and tonight we get to do one of my favorite things of the entire year. We get to recognize employees for all of the great things they do for the Fullerton School District. So I have someone new to introduce to you. This is Sylvia Nicknami, and she is our new Director of Classified Personnel. And we're going to start out by recognizing one of our classified employees this evening.
Okay, so we are so excited to welcome Gina Matz up here. She has been a dedicated painter. She has been a dedicated painter with the Fullerton School District since 2006, known for her professionalism, her focus on student safety and positive attitude, and she's been a respected presence on every campus she visits. In a male-dominated field, Gina sets an inspiring example, challenging stereotypes and showing students, especially young women, what's possible in trades. We are so proud and honored that she has been awarded the California Classified School Employee of the Year. Woo! A recognition for her exceptional work and impact across the district. Congratulations. Do you want to have your family come up here for a photo? You get lots of flowers. Lots of flowers. Do you want to have your family up here with you? Gina's family, welcome to over here, so she can take a photo with you to celebrate.
Very, very honored.
Congratulations, Gina. Well deserved.
Thank you so
You're
much.
both going, right? Yeah. You're good, good.
Yeah,
Very
yeah,
good.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine. Hi, I'm Ruthie.
Oh, and Sylvia.
Nice to meet you.
Right. Sacramento could be fun. They've got some, we'll have some time to play.
All right. And I did want to emphasize, Gina is not just being honored as one of our classified employees here in the district or even in the county, but she is a classified employee for the state of California. Huge honor. I was just commenting to her, it's the first time I've ever seen her without paint on her clothes, so it's so impressive. This is the second time. Yes, thank you for that. All right, next we are going to be honoring some of our certificated employees of the year. We are going to start with our certificated elementary teacher of the year, Christy Jones. All right. Come on up, Christy. I get to say all sorts of great things about you, so. Christy began working for the Fullerton School District as a substitute teacher, woohoo, in 2013. She was offered her initial teaching contract as a fourth grade teacher at Rolling Hills Elementary. She is an exemplary teacher whose work ethic is unparalleled. She fosters a learning environment where all students feel valued and motivated to achieve. We're proud to announce her as the 2025 Rolling Hills Teacher of the Year, but more importantly, the 2025 Fullerton School District Elementary Teacher of the Year. Congratulations, Christy. All right, stay. You can't leave yet. We have to take pictures. All right, our next certificated staff member. I would like to announce our 2025 District Preschool Teacher of the Year, Brenda Ramos. I want you to imagine with me that you are surrounded by 24 3-year-olds. And 4, but mainly 3. And this is what Brenda does all day long. She uses care, compassion, and her skills at making everything exciting to involve her students in her classroom. Brenda is respected by her teachers and her staff for her hard work, and she is known as one of those magic teachers who can take children who come in the door and are all over the place, and by the end of the year, they know the rules and are doing amazing things in her classroom. Please join me in congratulating our 2025 Preschool Teacher of the Year, Brenda Ramos. All right, and one more teacher recognition this evening. I am pleased to announce our 2025 Fullerton School District Junior High Teacher of the Year, Darcy Blake. Now, those of you who are all over the internet probably already know the end of this story, but I'm still going to read about Darcy. Darcy started in the Fullerton School District at the age of 7 in 2004. She was a language arts teacher for Ladera Vista Junior High, where she still works. She is a key member of the leadership team and helps to advance instructional excellence and solve complex challenges. Known for her positivity and enthusiasm, absolutely, her uplifting spirit inspires both students and colleagues to make a lasting impact campus-wide. We're proud to announce that she was the 2025 Ladera Vista Teacher of the Year, the 2025 Fullerton School District Junior High Teacher of the Year. But really big news, on May 1st, a delegation of folks from the Orange County Department of Ed visited the school to surprise her that she is one of the 6 finalists as the Orange County Teacher of the Year. Amazing. She's on to the state competition, and we have fingers crossed that she will be a state finalist as well. Congratulations, Darcy. And now I'm handing the microphone over to Sylvia, who will announce our classified employees of the year.
All right, so we have Lacey Kraft. Is she here tonight? Come on up, Lacey. She has been an instructional aide at Maple since 2018, finding her passion in kindergarten. She cares deeply about each student's academic and emotional well-being, building strong connections, and creating a supportive classroom environment. Lacey goes above and beyond, volunteering ideas, helping with school garden, and always looking for ways to improve Maple. She embodies the school motto, all of our kids are all of our kids, and chooses to stay at Maple because that's where her heart is. Thank you and congratulations. And our next employee is Christina Escobar Velasquez. She has been a custodian with the district since 2015. Where is she? There she is. Come on down. And she's working tirelessly to keep Pacific Drive clean, safe, and welcoming. Her attention to detail and strong work ethic and her warm presence makes an essential part of the school community. Students light up when they see her, and her friendly demeanor lifts everyone's spirits. Christina received multiple recognitions and a clear reflection of her deep appreciation to staff and students for all that she does. Thank you so much, Christina.
All right, and we have not ended yet with the recognitions. I'd like to next move to our Certificated Manager of the Year for the Fullerton School District, Cristina Centeno. Christina is a dynamic and dedicated educational leader whose journey with FSD has been marked by excellence, commitment, and rapid progression. She was initially hired as an assistant principal at Fissler School in 2016. The wind is not being helpful today. Christina quickly distinguished herself through exceptional administrative acumen, strong organizational skills, and a natural ability to lead with vision and integrity. She assumed the role of principal for Raymond School and spearheaded the exceptional growth of the DLA program. Gracias. She has also created a positive school culture and remains steadfast under demanding pressure. Her success and experience have led her to take on a principal specialist role that allows her to guide and mentor her fellow colleagues. We're proud to award her the Certificated Manager of the Year designation, as she has truly earned it. Congratulations. You just didn't get to be part of the group hug. I'm so sorry. All right, and we have one more manager we're recognizing tonight, our Classified Manager of the Year, Vanessa Larios. Now, Vanessa is in charge of making sure all of our students in the after-school encore program are taken care of. Vanessa is an exceptional leader and has over 20 years of experience in the educational world, most of that in after-school programs. She has clear communication, integrity, empathy, and empowerment. Those are some of her leadership qualities. She leads with passion to empower and support students, staff, and all who she works with. She's an invaluable person that the Fullerton School District is fortunate to have, and we're proud to recognize her as the 2025 Classified Manager of the Year. All right, I have one more this evening, just when you thought I was done. So, we also have an administrator who has been recognized by the Association of California School Administrators as the Orange County Classified Manager of the Year. Last night, he was recognized at a banquet, and I want to bring him up, Mike McAdam. Yes. For those of you who don't know Mike, Mike is an incredible force in the Fullerton School District. He is everywhere. He is positive, he's forward-thinking, and he has always got a positive word and a way to encourage others. We appreciate all that he does, and even now he's trying to give his flowers away. Look at that. And we want to congratulate him and thank him for his hard work with us here in the Fullerton School District. Congratulations, Mike. He also has a very small personality, if you didn't notice.
I believe that's the end of our recognitions and our celebrations for this evening. So on that note, we will make our way. Oh, are there cupcakes for people, or are they already getting their cupcakes? There's cupcakes for those of you that have not had cupcakes yet. Please eat some. And pick them up on your way back to the boardroom so that we can finish our meeting. So thank you all. For those of you that are not coming, thank you. And thank you to the families that are here celebrating our employees.
Unmute it. Mic check. Can you hear me? Mic check.
Oh, I can put stuff in my drawer. Yeah. Pull it out when I need it. I like having little drawers. Stash stuff away. I'm good. Are you guys good? Everybody's good? Everybody's set up? I have the go-ahead to reconvene. All right. We're back in session. Thank you, guys. Thank you for partaking in our celebration this evening. And thank you to everyone, all of our staff members that have been recognized, our students that performed, the wonderful, beautiful artwork that we have. It's just amazing to see all that talent. I'm going to now report from closed session. Okay, the board took action by a 5-0 vote to approve a settlement agreement of a workers' compensation claim between the Fullerton School District and employee 1110. That was the first action. The second action, the board took action by a vote of 5-0 to approve a settlement agreement with the Fullerton School District and the parents of student ID 71551. So we had two items that report out from closed session. We were able to go through all of our recognitions and celebrations. So we move right on to our reports. So we have our superintendent's report.
Just to acknowledge all the good work that's happening in the district by so many good people. And so I'll start with our leadership. So we'll start out with a shout out to our classified association and their leadership. I'm going to name also Tanya for all her entire team that put together. So have a big round for Tanya and her team. And I know long hours, a lot of time, and being available to teachers to make our district better. So I want to thank personally Darlene and her team for all the good work that they put in. And Mike, that kind of quiet man in the back, want to thank FESMA and his work and the team that he's put together as well. So thank you, everybody. That's it.
Oh, that's it? Wow. Okay, we're going to start down on the end with Vanessa.
Wait, sorry. Chad, I asked Chad to do one quick intro.
We also have a new director of classified personnel. Her name is Sylvia Nicknami, and she is here. Sylvia, stand up. She comes to us from Westminster, and we are so glad to have her. You got to meet her tonight as she announced our Classified Employees of the Year, and we're so happy to have her as part of our team. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. We're so happy to have you, and you stepped right in and just like nothing, just went through it. So congratulations and thank you. All right. Okay, now we'll start with Vanessa.
Okay, I told a few of you that I was going to keep mine short, so I'm just going to read my notes, otherwise it's going to go forever. First of all, I would like to take this time to say happy belated Mother's Day, and recognize all of you wonderful mamacitas, not just in here, but also watching us. Feliz Dia de las Madres. You didn't have to translate that? No, see, now it's taking too long. Okay. Since our last school board meeting, I've had the privilege of attending many wonderful events that showcase the heart of our community and the district. I'm only going to, again, mention a few, otherwise we'll be here all night. One of the biggest events that I thoroughly enjoyed, we just witnessed outside. We just celebrated some of the people outside, which was the K-pop Battle of the Bands. Oh my God. If you weren't there, you missed out. So much talent from our junior high kids. and I'm going to keep it fast. Another that you literally just witnessed outside was Nicholas Junior High. I attended their awards because our principal Jose told me that they were going to be performing here, but I couldn't wait, so I had to go see their awards ceremony so that I could see them perform. They're so incredibly talented. And I don't know if you noticed, but some of the kids play multiple instruments. Did you guys see when they put one down and then grabbed another one? And let me just mention, this isn't a class. This is an after-school club that is going to be an elective next year. So I can't wait how much these kids grow. And as they said, they just started in January, so their talent is amazing. Esports tournament at the Hunt Library was a highlight and definitely a thrilling competition, with Maple Elementary taking first place among students from across Orange County and Riverside. Now, I don't play video games, but I got so immersed with the games and their coach telling me exactly what they were doing that I actually got in trouble for cheering too loud. Apparently, I'm not supposed to cheer until they're all done. I just waited until ours was done. I was like, yeah. But also a big shout out to Hermosa Elementary, because they were the second school representing FSD at the games that same day. So both of those schools, fantastic. We celebrated Heritage Month, Community Pride, and Mexican culture with the Cinco de Mayo festivities at Maple Elementary. And we were treated to wonderful performances by students showcasing their singing, dancing, creative talents at Raymond's Talent Show. It's amazing. I have to say, my daughter has been participating since she was in kindergarten, and all those kids, not just mine, cease to amaze me. They're so talented with everything that they do on that stage. And of course, you can't say enough about the staff and the teachers and the principal always doing the finale when they dance and perform. Also, this time of year also gave us a chance to reflect and celebrate Teacher Appreciation Week. A week dedicated to honor our incredible educators. So I want to thank all of our FSD teachers and acknowledge the dedication and passion that they bring every day. You all bring every day to support our students. So thank you very much. And then another event is the FETA year-end banquet, honoring Teachers of the Year and retirees. This evening of recognition on years of service, hard work, and positive impact these educators have had on countless lives throughout their years at the district is just amazing. So thank you, Shelley, for putting all that together. I know that was a lot of work, but it was fantastic, phenomenal. It's my first year attending, and I was just so amazed. So thank you. I'm going to keep it short. That's it for me.
I'm going to be a little shorter. I want to second everything that my colleagues said. I want to thank all of our dedicated staff. We're almost to the end of the school year. I know for a fact that we have some 8th graders taking the AP English exam tomorrow, and the fact that we even have this is so incredible to me, and they're getting 3s, 4s, and even 5s. Good luck to all of them tomorrow. And then just very briefly, we're not through the end of anybody's first term or anything, but I just want to say how grateful I am to my board colleagues for helping usher us through another zany year. Your leadership, your dedication, Trustee Cho, the fact that you've been deployed and you've been on every call. I'm just grateful for all of your dedication, and you all inspire me. So thank you very much, everybody.
Trustee Cho, do you hear us? Would you like to make a statement or a report?
Sure. I am back on military duty. I was back for a couple of weeks, but that did allow me to attend a few events. I want to talk about just like 2 main categories of events that I went to. One was the fair at Sunset Lane and the carnival at Laguna Road, which is a testament to how much work parents and teachers and staff put in beyond just what's necessary to teach our kids and keep them safe in our classrooms. I'm astounded by the kind of events that just when parents, staff, and teachers work together, or the type of events that they can put on. and just odd, really. And so I just want to shout them out. They were two really great events. And secondly, I was able to attend Lion King at Sunset Lane and also Willy Wonka at Fern Drive. And it was really sweet to see kids being engaged in something beyond the classroom there in the arts. And I followed up with some questions to Dr. Bob, because one of the things that I'd like to start focusing on in light of going to some of those events is making sure that those opportunities are continuing to be funded, so that every school that wants to put on a performance like that can. So that's all I have.
Thank you. Thank you. Ruthie? Yeah, well, it's fun to see. We have so many principals here. I know you all are waiting for your agenda items, but it's nice to have you here. And I just...
No, they're here because they want to be here. There's nothing on TV tonight.
Nothing.
I knew there was
but
a
we
reason why
do.
you're on
I just
here.
want to say we appreciate y'all so much. And I know it's that end of the year crazy push to the end, and you're holding a lot together. So thank you. Hang in there. We love you and we appreciate you. And I want to recognize one principal in particular. And I know, so our principal, Christina Centeno, who won Certificated Manager of the Year. Yes, as we just recognized. But I feel like I'm promoting, so I'm taking a point of like a personal privilege to just recognize her as the incredible manager that she is and the leader that she is. I have had the privilege of having a front row seat to see her leadership skills. My youngest is now promoting from Raymond Elementary, so I have been there for 9 years, and many of those have been under the leadership of Christina when she stepped in during COVID. One of the hardest seasons to start a new job, first-time principal in a new community. And she had an incredible positive effect on our school, always a positive attitude. She has built an incredibly cohesive, inclusive, and loving community at Raymond. She brings joy every single day. I see her rolling with the punches, even on the hardest days. She always has a smile, even through the tears. She's there for the kids, for her staff, and for the families. And most of all, we both have 2 girls. And I know that she models what it means to be a strong female leader, to be empowered and to lead with humility and grace and love and strength. And she's someone who stands up for what she believes in, for what's right for kids. And we, the Raymond community, and myself are better because of it. I'm going to miss you. Yeah. I also had the amazing privilege this last month of being there when we surprised Ms. Darcy Blake as Teacher of the Year for Orange County, and just, again, have had a close-up experience of watching her as a teacher to my daughter for the last 2 years, and the incredible work she does at Ladera Vista, challenging kids to do really hard stuff, but giving them the tools and the capacity and the encouragement to do it and to rise to that challenge. She's really an incredible teacher. So these are great examples of just what makes FSD so great, and I appreciate all of you and the contributions you're making. This last month, I loved seeing so many schools celebrating Autism Acceptance Month. I heard really great reports from parents who were part of our first Special Education Parent Alliance meeting that happened, really encouraged by that first step and what it means for our families as well. I got to celebrate a couple of different open houses. Teacher Appreciation Week is always fun. Fun things like fun runs and Love Fullerton and K-pop Battle of the Bands and performances and Dia del Niños, and so many fun opportunities to celebrate all the hard work of our kids and our staff over the year. And yes, Vanessa mentioned probably my favorite was being, as a PTA mom, just co-producing the Raymond Elementary School Talent Show. Fiesta Final and Family Dance was incredible to show off. I know so many of our kids have incredible talents, and these kind of opportunities really do bring our community together to celebrate. It's all the great things that are being accomplished throughout our schools.
Okay, thank you. All right, I'm just going to add a few things. I wanted to give a shout out to our classified folks. We were all able to, we were invited to their end of the year event as well, and casino night. And it's so wonderful to see people coming together after a work day and really enjoying each other. And so I think what you guys have done this year, this past couple of years, to really embody that bringing together of people has been amazing. So we appreciate all that you guys have done. In addition to the going to our celebration for our certificated folks as well, celebrating our managers, celebrating again when we talk about strong women who are getting awards. Gina, a painter, getting the state award, so in the running for our state. So these are great things. Darcy, again, running for our state. So I think we're doing some really great things here, and I know on behalf of our entire board, we so appreciate everything. I had some time to reflect on our DLAC, went to the last DLAC meeting, and I reflected back to when I started on the board, which was a few years ago, and watching the progress and watching how much our DLAC program has grown throughout the years and how much our parents are feeling empowered to be able to be part of the decision making, to sit at the table and to really feel valued. It makes me so very proud that our district has always stood behind that. For Linda and staff, just making sure that our parents feel that, and every year getting stronger and stronger. So I truly, truly appreciate it from way back when, and I can tell you stories about people, but just how it's just grown and how people, just took that step and were so passionate, and every one of those persons that were involved made it better for the next year. So thank you very much. One thing we hadn't talked about a little bit is about Nicholas Junior High was able to start a program, the Green Bench, where their social emotional learning club, the club worked with, remind me who they worked with, Providence St. Jude, and I thought it was another group. Promise to Speak, Promise to Talk. And they now have a green bench at Nicholas, so that when students are feeling like they just need to talk or they need to share something or they need a buddy or they just want to sit, there is a place for them. And that was the students advocating, right? It wasn't the staff saying this is what we have to do. It wasn't Jose come in and say, no, we're going to do this. Our students said, you know what, we need this. Our student body need a place to go. And so I think it's a great program, and if other schools want to know about it, I'm sure Rosanna and Helene can tell you all about it. But Promise to Talk with the Green Bench. So thanks to our counselors also, who were a very big part of that in making that happen. So appreciate that. Again, we had all of the performances, and it's always great. And as James said, the arts is something that we have never, ever gone back on. Again, I'm going to just reflect on the years that we've been here. Even in the recession, when we were taking away, when we had to cut programs, this district and this community stood behind the arts. And we stood behind knowing that we might not have been able to do as many lessons as we wanted to, but we were never going to take the arts out of our education. And a lot of schools statewide did so, right? They took them out and they had to bring them back. We never did that. And so we have just built, with the help of everyone involved, we just built a fabulous arts program, and it continues to get better and better with the state, with Prop 28, with the money that we have. Being able to build on that is something that we have always thought is very, very important. So thank you, and it is great going, and I have the privilege of being able to take my little granddaughter to these plays now. And she has a great time. So I'm giving her the culture and getting her motivated to be one of our stars one day. The last thing I think I have in my pile is the 4th Annual Korean Culture Festival at Parks was done. And so watching our students from the surrounding schools perform and come into a junior high, I always love it when our junior highs host events that bring all of the feeder schools in. Right, and because that is such a scary thing for parents and for students, coming onto a junior high campus, so even if you don't go to Parks, now I'm coming in from Laguna Road and all the other schools, it's a great way for parents and students to set foot on a junior high campus without being there.
so that when that 7th grade time comes, when it's so very scary, maybe they've had a little bit of experience. So not only was it a wonderful cultural festival, but it was a great way to bring community in. And if we could just do more of that, especially in our junior highs, in bringing community onto our campuses, I think it makes a huge difference. So on that note, I will be done with my report. And I will move on to our associations. So speaking of DLAC, do we have a DLAC representative here today? Did I see anybody?
President Berryman, I'm going to be reading on behalf of DLAC.
Perfect, thank you.
Good evening, President Berryman, school board members, Executive Cabinet, Superintendent Dr. Pleka, and all families who are present and listening. My name is Myra Zamora, and I am happy to share some updates from our District English Learner Advisory Committee, DLAC. I hope everyone had a happy Mother's Day. Our parent and family engagement training classes are coming to an end. Woodcrest is celebrating its ESL classes tomorrow. These trainings provided tools and resources that continue to empower and support parents in navigating the school system so they can help their children reach their full academic potential. As a DLAC committee, we appreciate the district's continued support in English learners, their parents, and the community. The parents of our English learners are glad that students will have an extended learning opportunities through the EL Jumpstart program starting in June 2025. In addition, a big thank you to Ruth Gear for supporting DLAC and English learners. Have a great end of the school year and a great summer. Thank you and have a good night.
Thank you. PTA, I think I saw Joanne. Where is she? There she is.
Well, good evening, Dr. Putka, President Berryman, and members of the board. I am Joanne Cho, and I continue to have the pleasure of serving as the president of Fullerton Council PTA. Well, just like I talk about everything, I always talk about every meeting. I say our council membership drive continues to go strongly, even to this month. As of today, we have a total of 4,702. So we actually increased. So just in case you guys want to, at the end of the school year, become a member, you still can until the very end. So just keep things positive. You guys have done so much for us, and I want to take a moment just to talk to the principals, to the district staff. Thank you for supporting the PTA. Thank you for enjoying the things that we do, and just our partnership has been really cool this year. So we actually had our Fullerton Council Spring Luncheon on Tuesday, April 29th, 2025. We celebrated the accomplishments of this year and welcomed our new PTA presidents for the next year, along with our honorary service awards for our FSD community members. These people made a difference in our community, and it was really nice to really celebrate with all of you. So and also at that time was our last council association meeting of the school year. Our next association meeting will be in August. So also some fun things happened. Our California PTA convention was held in Ontario, May 1st through 4th. We had several of our units from FSD and Fullerton Joint Union actually attend the conference. I went too. Hearing from the amazing speakers and getting the training we need to help our PTAs be successful was so great. Next year's conference will be held in Fresno, California, so it won't be local. So now, this is like you guys too, we are actually in a time of transition for the school PTA leadership. So this time, we're actually now entering that part of the time when we are saying, thank you so much for this year, and now we're going to our new leadership. I think you kind of understand what we're doing. So right now we're trying to ask them to put their contact information in PTEZ, which is our PTA management application, and our unit's executive boards and chairpersons will be handing off their procedure books and start training for New Year. And to talk about training, for training we have an opportunity for training from the 4th District PTA. We have our spring workshops and vendor fair on Saturday, June 7th from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Orange Coast College, back down south. We have 10 trainings to choose from and a vendor fair for our units to source to help with their next year's events. Registration is open on the 4th District website. It's 4thdistrictpta.org. And thank you, and I wish you a wonderful rest of your evening, and that concludes my report.
Thank you. I'm going to give a plug for membership, and if people don't join this year, it kind of gives them a reason why to join next year. Is people don't realize that PTA is one of the biggest advocacy groups around, right? And PTA doesn't have anyone that's paid. There's no lobbyists that are paid. That when PTA members and leaders advocate in Sacramento, they're coming up there non-paid, representing children. And so membership means a lot. So when the advocates for, say, Orange County go to Sacramento and they can say, I represent 900,000 Orange County members, we can make it 1 million if we just continue to join, right? So I think right now the Orange County is probably at almost 900,000, I think. Something high, right? It's the biggest of all the state. And if we can go and say we represent 1 million, Orange County doesn't, but state of California. So the more people that go, the more membership the advocates can say, we are representing, 1 million members. Legislators are going to have to stop and listen, right? It's like, okay, I guess 1 million people you're speaking on behalf of. It's important. So membership is just not membership. It really, truly means something when people are advocating on behalf of our students here in Fullerton, Orange County, and the state. So giving you just another plug. So if you haven't done it this year, make sure you guys join next year. And you can join multiple PTAs. I'm sorry, I'm getting off my soapbox now. CSCA. Tatiana.
Good evening, President Berryman, Trustee, Executive Cabinet, and Community. I am Tatiana Ortega, Chapter 130, First Vice President, reporting for CSCA. Chapter 130 would like to welcome Sylvia Nami to Classified HR. We look forward to working with you in support of classified employees in FSD. Chapter 130 would also like to congratulate Gina Matz, Painter Extraordinaire, for being named Classified Skilled Trade School Employee of the Year. Gina, this is such an amazing recognition, not only for FSD, but all of classified employees. Next week, we will celebrate Classified School Employees Week, along with 250,000 classified school employees across the state. The theme is Trusted, Inclusive, and United. Here in FSD, we have actually sent out to all of our classified staff a Classified Staff Spirit Week for all of us to remain trusted, inclusive, and united around our district. Classified employees have earned respect as educators and partners in the education community. More importantly, we have become recognized as the essential frontline workers who keep our schools up and running while making a difference in the lives of the students we serve. CSCA Chapter 130 invites classified employees to show spirit and unity by participating in our 2025 CSCA Spirit Week, May 19th to the 23rd. Thank you.
Vida? Darren's already coming up.
Good evening, President Berryman, board members, Dr. Pleck, cabinet, FETA members, and guests. I'm ending my first year as full-time release president where I started it, visiting sites, joining in classroom activities, attending performances, and just getting the chance to talk to members. It has also given me the chance to be available for other activities, such as interviews, get-togethers with board members, and extra long talks with Dr. Pletka, Dr. Hammett, and others. It has been an honor. Last week, I was on the outside of Laguna Road's lockdown drill. It was done so well. It was eerily quiet, and you go to open the door, and it's locked. And yet, it leaves you with a sad impression. Not hearing the voices and laughter of children at recess, PE, or lunch during a school day gives you chills. Unfortunately, this is just another thing that staff and students have to practice and be concerned with at school. On April 30th, we celebrated CTA's WHO Awards. We honor ours. We had 3 of our members honored, Pam Zanell, Jenny Rivera, and Leah Yamamoto. In the last 2 months, we celebrated appreciation for teachers, nurses, and school counselors. To teachers, your work is a work of the heart. You get up early and often to go to bed. and often go to bed late. Planning and thinking about your class, even when you are tired, you put a big smile on your face so you can teach and reach the hearts and minds of children. You are a difference maker. And that's a quote by Marilyn Applebaum. To nurses, every nurse was drawn to nursing because of a desire to care, to serve, or to help. Quote by Christina Feist-Hellmeyer, an RN. And to school counselors, an awesome school counselor is hard to find, difficult to part with, and impossible to forget. Thank you to Shelley Behrens and Nina Moda for organizing another great event for our retirees and Teachers of the Year. As always, you rocked it and made it look great. You are all appreciated by FETA. We ask you to relax this summer, make memories with friends and family, and refresh yourself for the upcoming school year.
I just wanted to say something that she left out. She also won a State Who Award for the whole state. So.
Another statewide award. Congratulations, darling. They always rat you out.
Yeah, good job, Shelley. Good job.
FSMA,
Yes. Check. Cello.
Mr. Award, another award winner.
Check. There we go. Board President Berryman, board members, Dr. Bob Pleka, cabinet members, I'm Mike McAdam, Director of Purchasing Contracts, Warehouse, Reaper Graphics, and FSMA Board President. May is a month to appreciate and celebrate all of our partners. Nurses, and teachers. Appreciation were last week. Classified appreciation is next week. We are grateful for the amazing work FSD family we have filled with intelligent, hardworking, diligent individuals who work alongside of FSMA leadership to put our kids first. They pour so much of their hearts and soul into the work, and it shows. We are a stronger team because of the individual effort put forth by our staff, so thank you from the bottom of our hearts. District-wide, we'll be closing the year out strong, preparing for next school year by building next year's budgets and school plans for student achievement. All school sites are focusing on holding successful promotion at elementary and middle schools. We're working hard to create a memorable experience for all our students and families and community. Ed services and student support services are enrolling and preparing for all our summer programs. Business services, purchasing, and warehouse are gearing up for year-end closing, receiving all the final orders and year-end closing purchase orders. Payroll, let's get a shout out to payroll. We love payroll. Is diligently working to increase pay lines and calculate retro pay from this year's negotiations. M&O is planning for a busy summer as well. It will be very exciting to see all the new construction projects for next year, marquees, playground equipment, pour and play, as well as finishing up some pretty cool projects at Nicholas and Parks, which is going to be amazing. Early next year. Thank you again for passing Measure In. Vote for Measure In. FSMA is looking forward to our management retreat at the event at the beginning of the school year, so that's going to be amazing. On behalf of FSMA, thank you for another great year and job well done.
It's not over yet. Okay. Thank you all for your reports. Do we have any public comments, Anna?
We do not have any public comments tonight.
All right, so moving on to section 6, approval of the minutes for the April 8th meeting. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I move to approve the minutes.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the minutes. Any questions, anything? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
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 All right, approved. Do I have a motion to approve the tonight's agenda?
Any changes? I move to approve the agenda.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay, there's been a motion to approve it and second. Any further discussion? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
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 Okay. All right, then we're moving on to our presentations for this evening. We are moving to our annual wellness report highlights. So here we go.
Okay. We're going to have Candace Science come up. She's our wellness coordinator, and she's going to present to the board kind of the highlights of our annual wellness report. In the board agenda is the actual wellness report.
Right.
And then we're just, because we do so much in this district around this area, and it's large, we're hitting the highlights.
Gonna make you sit till midnight.
It's it's a little bit more than a 2-minute reel, but it's highlights. So we'll turn that on over.
All right.
Thank you.
Go take it away, Candace.
Good evening, President Berryman, Board, Executive Cabinet, staff, and attendees. My name is Candace Sines. I am the Nutrition and Wellness Coordinator for this school district. I'm going to ask you to leave your questions and comments at the end. Is that okay? Okay, perfect. All right, can you go back one more? Yeah, thank you. So since this position has been vacant for a season of time, this school year was actually a baseline year that we focused on pushing out some surveys, collecting the data, and meeting with stakeholders to guide the future planning and program development. So tonight, as Dr. Rob said, this is the highlights. On page 1 of our wellness policy is the whole school, whole community, whole child framework. We're not going to go through the 10 components tonight, but we're going to go through the highlights. On the upper quadrant of that photo is the hockey tournament. On the upper right is Sally the cow that came out to the school site so students can know where their food comes from. On the lower right quadrant is the community schools, Jenny Saul and her staff on the lower right. And then on the lower left is how we are firing it up with our traveling barbecue. Next slide, please. So one of the components of the whole school, whole community, whole child framework is health education. And underneath that is PE, nutrition. And I want to share with you that we are meeting the instructional minutes for PE. So on the blue box, you'll see 200 minutes for every 10 days for grades 1 through 6th grade and 400 every 10 days for grades 7th through 8th. We're tracking that trimester as well as principals giving us feedback that those instructional minutes are actually being taught. We're thrilled to be integrating nutrition and physical activity being integrated into our lessons. We're working with PE teachers this summer to integrate them both, not just having students sit in the class, but doing true aerobic activity and learning about nutrition. All right, next slide. All right, so these two boxes. Yes, it's titled goals. On the left-hand side, we met our goals this school year, so those are our successes. Next school year, we'll be working on the school goals based upon the principal's feedback. So we're gonna start off with the hockey tournament. Guess who won? Beechwood. So we partnered up with the Anaheim Ducks. So you see a huge inflation hockey player and a teeny tiny little cute girl assuming the position as a hockey slapstick moment. And I do want to share really quick a quote from a PE teacher. He said, "I think playing in the Fullerton League helps students stay motivated," says Mitchell Tao. It helped them get excited to play more street hockey. They really enjoyed experiencing what it's like to be a team together. Playing in the league definitely helped them prepare and have a greater drive to do better. Isn't that what we're all about? Is encouraging students to be motivated, to have team together, and to work better together. All right. So there was a training provided for after school. I'm sorry, no, it's just after school sports. Then we have the Playworks, which was a training for 70 instructional aides. And then we have a great partnership with the Move More, Eat Healthy, which provides Zumba classes. On our right-hand side, we had the principals give us some feedback. They want to do a little bit more structured recess, incorporate movement into the classroom, and improve the playground and space for active play. Next slide, thank you. All right, does that look familiar? Go Chris. All right, nutrition services. This school year, thus far, we are proud to have served over 1 million lunches. It's not even May included yet. 1,034,911 to be exact. We have served more than 360,000 breakfasts to students, helping fuel learning and wellness every day. School meals just might be the best anti-hunger program in the USA. I can't tell you how many guardians have told me over my career how much school meals have helped them save time and money. Isn't that especially important for this season of life? Our scratch cooking is now at an annual average of 45%. And when we mean scratch cooking, we mean raw ingredients from its natural form to increase quality and flavor. Two of the examples are right over there with our lovely ladies with our old-fashioned crumb cake, yeah girl, and the other one is also the pumpkin bar. And I will tell you who made those in just a bit. But first, I want to let you know that breakfast in the classroom is at Commonwealth and at Richmond. 59% is the average daily participation. And at Richmond, it's 49%. I want to also emphasize really quickly that last year Commonwealth was a little bit over 20% participation, and now it's almost 60%. For Richmond, between August and January, it was a little over 20%. Now at Richmond, it's 49.47%. So because of breakfast in the classroom, students are getting more nutrition. I do want to say that the office staff at these school sites have noticed a significant decrease in students visiting the nurses in the morning. I spoke with a custodian who mentioned he's seen fewer incidences of having to clean up after students who are getting sick in the morning. It's truly encouraging to see this program making a positive impact on our students. All right, I could go more, but I better go and move on. Traveling barbecue program. The average monthly increase is 351. We are truly firing it up with this program. I also want to make sure that I do not glaze over this. Our partners at No Kid Hungry has given us a huge compliment, saying that Nutrition Services is a great district to work with. We're innovative, the staff are great problem solvers, and she looks forward to working with us in the future. So that is No Kid Hungry. I apologize. That's also breakfast in the classroom. And then the Chef Ann Foundation has really been coming out from their state to train the staff on real raw ingredients for scratch cooking. Like I walked into Central Kitchen and they're chopping onions. Everyone's crying. I mean, like it's real. All right, speaking of real, Eat Real is also another organization that the Nutrition Services team is working with to ensure that we're reevaluating the menu planning so that we are heading in a direction for wholesome foods. All right, next slide. So in this, you will notice that there's some great grill masters. Who are they? They're actually from the transportation department. So Nutrition Services has partnered up with the transportation department to give our bus drivers more hours. So they're switching it up from, dealing with traffic jams and switching it out for aprons and tongs. And I will tell you that both the students and the teachers have said how much they appreciate their positive attitude and how they serve the students. So we're not only increasing hours for these staff members, but students have been also very excited about this traveling barbecue. Next slide. All right. It is a rare thing where you have a full-time chef working for a school district. This is Chef Bithia. She not only has fiery hair, but she has a passionate heart for school meals. She's a parent she's a parent within this school district. Her student goes to Parks Junior High. She was a former meal business owner dedicated to nutritious, flavorful foods with love and fresh ingredients. Her signature creations from scratch made granola, which she is most proud of because of the texture and crunch that she has gotten scientifically down for all of the students in breakfast. Those pumpkin bars that you're tasting, that's by the hands of Chef Bithia. The lemon blueberry muffins, the horchata overnight oats, Chef has crafted them all with care. When I showed her this slide, she was like, yes, Candace, thank you for putting care. She does. I also want to emphasize that the special diet support, she has her own specific table that she makes sure does not touch gluten. It is like a sacred space for her to make sure that that is for gluten-free. And she has done the pasta and meat sauce for the vegetable lasagna. Our very own Dr. Rob has tasted it and approved. Next slide, please. I actually do want to also emphasize with nutrition services, we're not only looking into ways in which to comply, we are looking for ways to be above and beyond. Speaking of which, we're also looking into nutrition education and promotion at a couple of different events as well as classrooms. Students were able to taste test various foods that they picked themselves and voted, and now are on the menu and will continue to be having that system to make sure that students have self-efficacy and student empowerment. We've done some classroom nutrition education. Maple principal just reached out and said, like, I'm ready, let's go with these edible gardens. And again, the mobile dairy classroom, Sally came out to see where their milk comes from. And yay, it's not a suggestion, you have to take a Harvest of the Month calendar before you leave. Okay, Claudia, can you hold it up really quick? Yes, advertise it, sell it. So yay, woo! Beautiful. This is the artwork of the students themselves. And right now we are in the process of judging the calendar art contest, which is actually the hardest part of the job, is to pick. All right, and we just can't go on without mentioning Move More, Eat Healthy, Orange County Healthcare Agency, and the Orange County Department of Ed. Next slide, please. Thank you. There is something called the triennial assessment that all school districts who provide school meals have to comply with. So I sat with various folks within the school district. We have surveyed, we have looked at the wellness policy, and we are looking for ways in which to constantly improve and make sure that this isn't just a policy that sits and gets dusty, but is truly alive and active. And we are reigniting things that maybe have been a little bit on the plateau, and we're spiking it up again, like Smart Snacks, which is on our website. And I just wanted to say on the right-hand side, the Move More, Eat Healthy that's a mural at Valencia Park. Next slide, please. Okay. So as we know, it's not just about nutrition and physical activity. When students have dental issues or vision issues, they're not able to academically thrive if they have the appropriate oral health and vision. So with the partners of Big Smiles, 147 students have received services with 5 dental visits scheduled. And through the Vision to Learn program, 1,052 students were screened, 289 received eye exams, and 220 were provided with glasses so that students can have an opportunity to have academic success. Wow. Big thank you to the nurses and community schools for making that happen. Next slide, please. Employee wellness. We kicked off a new launch Flourish to Nourish e-newsletter, as well as our staff wellness fair. We have an upcoming Summer Fit Club in June. We've had Cal State Fullerton students come out to help do some health coaching, and then all employees have access to assistance. Next slide, please. Family engagement. So our community schools team has partnered up with PODER, which is a prevention of obesity and diabetes through education resources, and that is through CHALK. I'm going to go ahead and have you go to the next slide. We are proud to collaborate with a variety of community partners, including Fullerton Express Pharmacy, Bracken's Kitchen, Second Harvest, which helps with not only recovering food, but also providing food for our communities. Pathways of Hope, National Giving Alliance, the Orange County Healthcare Agency, Providence St. Jude, Eating Healthy Initiative, and the Fullerton Collaborative, all working together to support health and well-being for our students and families. To conclude, all of these initiatives ranging from nutrition services, physical education, dental and vision, staff wellness, parent education, strong community partnerships align with the whole school, whole community, whole child framework. This comprehensive approach ensures that every student is healthy, safe, engaged, supported, and challenged by integrating health and wellness into every aspect of school environment, building strong connections with family and community partners. We are not only addressing the needs of the whole child, but also creating a thriving school environment where both students and staff can flourish. Thank you, and I am all set for your questions and comments. Thanks.
Thank you, Candace. That was wonderful. Okay, we'll open it up for questions.
Oh,
Who would
wait,
like to? Oh, go ahead.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
There's 2 more slides.
2 more slides.
But they're easy.
Oh.
Yay! Contributions to Dr. Rob, Adana, Dr. Brown, Victor, Sung, Chi, and Jenny Saul. In the next slide. I want to leave you with something happy. Not only do we need to feed our tummies, but at Valencia Park, we were able to do a mural to feed your mind. Your mind will believe everything you tell it. Feed it hope, feed it truth, and feed it love.
Worth the last 2 slides.
I know. I was trying to.
Okay, all right.
Wait. Oh, we have one more slide. I'm
One
sorry.
more- one more slide.
Sorry, one more. Woo!
Oh, look at that. Very nice, the team.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, well, we'll start with questions. I'm sure if we have any clarifying questions. Would you like to start, Vanessa?
Hi. Thank you so much. I love to hear that Richmond is now doing breakfast in the classroom and that it's increased almost, what is it, almost double, more than double at Commonwealth and then more than double at Richmond. My question is, what are the kids having for breakfast and what percentage of that is scratch cooking that they're having for breakfast to start out their day? I mean, it seems like they love it since more kids are participating. Do we know?
Victor's going to help us. Oh, yeah.
Good evening. Victor Trejo, Director of Nutrition Services. I haven't had the pleasure to introduce myself, I think, to everybody. So we do breakfast in a classroom with Richmond and Commonwealth. Their menus are a little bit special compared to our normal elementary menus. The percentages I can get to you for the scratch cooking piece, because that's going to be its own special number. But for those programs, there's kind of a balance between the two. So some individually wrapped item that we purchase either through a vendor also has quality nutrition aside from it, but also having some form of scratch cooking. So we always have a horchata overnight oat, a scratch-made muffin, a scratch-made chocolate chip muffin. But those options are available for the kids for the BIC program. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
Sure.
That's it. Oh. Okay. All right. Marini, any questions?
No questions. This is maybe the greatest calendar I've ever seen. It's making me hungry. I didn't know we had a National Bacon Day. And the snacks were wonderful. And yes, more scratch cooking, a larger cooking space for nutrition services one of these days. The Fullerton voters willing. And keep up the great work. Thank you.
Upgrade your kitchen facilities. I do want to point out that in addition to the wellness, this presentation online or on our agenda with a link is the actual wellness report, which is way more detailed. So for those of you that haven't had a chance to look at it, it goes into way more details on addressing the things that are actually in our policy that were too much for the presentation.
15 pages. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I'll move on to Ruthie. Questions?
Yeah. I also just want to acknowledge, I know this has been a major effort over the last few years to increase scratch cooking and really move away from more packaged and processed foods to really not only give our kids great nutrition, but teach them healthy habits. So I really appreciate that. I want to just acknowledge that effort that it's taken. And it's so critical for what we're seeing of the way that our kids, whether that's facing obesity, diabetes, like this, these are really important skills that they're developing through modeling and experiencing this really healthier food options and through moving their bodies. And I think I love that we're approaching this holistically and looking at education and school as not just reading and writing, but this is a holistic approach to child well-being and education. So I really want to acknowledge and appreciate that. And I know as Trustee Berryman said, in our report, we also talk about social emotional health and mental health, and those are important components that this approach and this wellness policy addresses, even if we didn't hear it, because there's so much to cover, but I know our SEL team also contributes to that, and I just want to acknowledge that when we talk about wellness, we're talking about all those pieces of mental health, physical health, nutritional health, all of these pieces coming together for academic health as well. So thank you for that. And vision and all the things that we heard about. I think it's great to hear the impact of the way breakfast is affecting academic input, performance. That was one of my questions, would be kind of like how we're measuring progress. Because I love, we can say this many meals, but like are we seeing the impact on our kids? And maybe that's something for next year as we think about, if this is kind of the baseline you said of establishing this program, like how does that impact the performance of our kids in the classroom? Behavioral, we know what it's like when kids are hungry, they melt down oftentimes. So how are we seeing that show up in their behaviors and their academic performances and things like that? I'd love for that to be an indicator of our progress in the next few years as we move forward. I just want to acknowledge, I noticed when I first came on, I asked, why do we always have styrofoam trays? And the kids had brought that up a lot to me. And I love seeing now biodegradable dishes and recyclable trays and cups and bowls for our kids, because I think that, again, is modeling both the behaviors we want as well as healthy for our planet and our kids. So thank you for that change I've seen over the last 2 years as well. I wanted to ask, one of the questions that just came up, one of the indicators of the wellness policy triennial assessment was looking at when drinks and snacks were advertised on FSD campuses. Can you tell me what drinks and snacks are advertised on FSD campuses? I just wasn't sure that I don't see marketing on campuses.
Ooh, I have to get back to you on that because I do have the principal surveys. I want to give you the most accurate information, so I don't want to do it off of memory. I want to make sure that I go back and look at it appropriately.
Okay.
Thoroughly.
I mean, other than the things we're serving, I don't really see a lot of marketing going on, so I was curious about that. But one of the other...
Is it, I don't know, is it the calendars or no?
No.
I don't.
Yeah, maybe junior high.
I'm
but
gonna
there
have
are
to look at the
snacks
data.
and drinks.
Yeah, we have sparkling water, like a mineral, like a berry flavored.
Uh-huh.
And then there's the baked chips.
Uh-huh.
Baked Cheetos.
That they can buy.
And then a cookie.
So children can purchase
Sorry,
those
the
things.
sparkling water, fruit flavored. Yeah, the fizzy brand. And then cookies, a chocolate chip cookie, but it's like a healthy version of it. And then they have the baked, like Cheeto Puffs and hot Cheetos, stuff like that.
Good stuff. Okay.
We did update a smart snacks compliant list, and that's on the website and something that I'll be promoting more.
Okay. That's good to know. Yeah, I just was curious about that. The other piece I know is, and I asked some questions beforehand to understand this better, but part of the assessment was also looking at our students in 5th and 7th grade participate in the California Physical Fitness Test. And then that information is collected. And I know right now our PE teachers are collecting that raw data just to mostly indicate that students are complying by doing these assessments. But I'm curious as a trustee whether that data could be, in a disaggregated kind of big picture way, inform us, and as we make decisions going forward, to know where our kids are at. If they're being tested on their physical fitness in 5th and 7th grade, can that inform us as we make decisions about whether that's nutritional meals or PE minutes, the activities that we're providing for our students to ensure that they're growing in their health and nutrition?
Absolutely. So currently,
we collect the data in a database, and it is used by we have access to it as ed services. The PE teachers use that data to inform their practice of next steps, how to best prepare their lessons to make sure students are currently improving in their healthy fitness zones. But we certainly do have access to disaggregate that data to be able to provide a better holistic view as a district, to also inform the board. If you would like, we could prepare that for you moving forward.
Yeah, I think it would be great to have that information. I think that informs us as we think about priorities for our district, even where we're spending money. And I know one of the consent items we're looking at is, a teacher coordinator in wellness. And I think that it's those sort of information that helps us make decisions about priorities for our district and ensuring that holistic approach to our kids' wellness. So I think that'd be really helpful for us to have a big picture understanding of where our kids are at 5th and 7th grade.
Absolutely. So that's something that my team, Sung and George, will certainly work on for next year.
Great, thanks. I'm excited I know that there's also some efforts over the summer to create more wellness lessons by our PE teachers. So I'm looking forward to learning more about that and the ways that they're going to be teaching those important life skills and nutrition and health and fitness to our kids.
Thank you.
That's it? Yeah? Okay. Any other questions? James?
No, ma'am.
Okay. I just had a couple of things to add. I think that the information was so comprehensive, especially with the actual wellness report. I wanted to put a shout out that in this report you are actually addressing also staff wellness, and that's very important. The mental health wellness, the physical wellness of our staff makes a difference, right? If we don't feel good, it's hard for us to teach, and so being able to address that is great. You have some partners in there that come out and help, and I do know that the YMCA also has like a discount for staff members of the Fullerton Elementary or Fullerton School District. So if people want to join the Y, you can let them know you're with the school district, and I think there's a discount for you. Pumpkin Run, is also something that I think we partner with OC United and really get our kids in all of our schools motivated to go out and challenge each other and their principals. Where's Jose? There's nothing better than, challenging your principal to be able to run faster than them. And I would love to see, and I think I mentioned this to Dr. Bob, is I'd love to see something, with our junior high culinary arts programs, maybe doing internships or something in our kitchen, and really being able to see how, what they're doing in class makes, what they can be doing later and how that goes into. So maybe, somewhere down the line when we start to look at more at CTE and things like that, we can utilize our own staff and our students who are looking at that. So thank you very much. I didn't have any questions. I think that this is it. Thank you again for your first time presenting. We are so happy that you're on board.
Thank you.
Victor, thank you for making this happen as well. So we surely appreciate you. Thank you.
He was a good captain. Thank you.
Okay, moving on to our consent agenda. Are there any items that need to be pulled or discussed?
Hi, President Behrman. This is James. For no substantive reason, but more of a procedural reason, just the sheer amounts on items Y and AA, that's Yankee and Alpha Alpha, I'd like those pulled for discussion.
Do you want to comment on them, or you want to discuss them and possible do something with them?
So not a comment. I guess the only comment I have is just the sheer amount that's being requested to be authorized.
Okay.
I'd ask that we break them out from the consent calendar.
Okay, perfect. So we'll pull Y and AA. Anybody else want to pull anything or comment on anything?
I just wanted to comment and say that we have a lot of programs for our after-school and summer programs that are being approved contracts. I think we had over 50 contractors apply and be approved. And so I just want to say thank you to the nonprofit organizations, the community organizations that are working with Fullerton School District. I think they all bring something really unique and special. And zany to what our kids can do, you know, and creating opportunities for kids not only to learn in different ways, but try out new passions, new ideas, new talents. And I appreciate Jason Chong for all the work he's done to vet these groups and really invite and encourage unique groups to apply to work and partner with Fullerton School District.
Absolutely, absolutely.
James, the AA, that's the one, the vendor, right? That's the one that Ruthie's talking about that you want to pull?
Yeah, so if I could, I mean, they've up to me, a real quick comment from staff on what the request is for. Again, no substantive beefs from me, just it's a lot of money.
No, absolutely.
So, do we want to talk about why first?
Certainly. I mean, I think that what we can do is we can approve everything up until Y. We'll just pull Y and AA. We'll approve. We'll vote on those, and then we'll come back to Y and AA. Does that seem reasonable, Anna? Yeah. Okay. All right. So do I have a motion to approve the
consent items?
Consent
Yes.
items other than Y and AA.
So moved.
And I'll second.
Okay. Anybody have any more comments on any of the other items? So many things. I really was very happy with the Cal Grip in there, making sure that we're working with our students that might need extra support there. Okay. All right. Those in favor of approving the consent items with the exception of Y and AA, say aye.
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 Okay, any opposed? No? Okay, so go back to Y now, and let's hear information on that one, and it's a piggyback bid for, looks like, buses?
Correct.
Yes.
It's a piggyback bid, and it's up to $1 million. We are going to we're going to immediately need to buy a couple buses because transportation is expanding. Just one bus is at least $250,000. On top of that, we have applied for through grants through the AQMD, and those buses, we're still in the application process, but if they're approved, we still have out-of-pocket money on those to purchase those buses. Electric buses are very expensive, over $400,000, and there will be some expense there. So we're not actually, we'll let you know, you'll see it on the purchase order when we're moving forward to actually buy the bus. This just approves the mechanism to where we can purchase it from this company.
And it's not necessarily going to go to $1 million, it's just opening a PO
Correct.
for that,
Correct.
in case we get to that.
But we will not be buying electric buses unless we are awarded that grant. Is that correct?
For the grant, correct, yeah. So I believe the next buses that we do have to purchase will be gasoline buses.
Mm-hmm. How many are we in need of right now?
We're expanding it, two, is it more than that, three? JD is holding up 3 fingers for those of you who can't see. That would be 3 buses.
What finger? Oh, 3 fingers, sorry.
So 3 buses alone would be $750,000. That is, we have put into the budget for next year, which we'll be bringing back in June.
Thank you for that information. Any other questions? Does that cover that one, James?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then AA?
This is all of the independent contractors in the after-school program. We issued an RFP, had a tremendous response to it, and these are all the vendors and the awards amounts that is being paid from the ELOP funds, which is provided from the state. And so it's great that we have so many providers wanting to work here. I know in years past, I think we were probably at 10 or 15. So this is really expanding the program, bringing variety in the program and variety for kids in the after-school program.
Just one heads up as well. It was in the January governor's budget, and I've heard from a couple sources, we'll know here soon enough, that the after-school program, potentially they're expanding it, and potentially we will be looking at somewhere, this is a big number, but between $2 million and $6 million. We don't know which, if it's 2 or 6 or 4. New programs, new after-school programs, expanding to more schools. So more to come, but we should know pretty quickly. It's May 19th?
Next week.
Yeah. All right.
All right, thank you. All right, James, does that cover that for you?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, and I do want to comment that, you know, again, Jason, what a great job, because you hear a lot of districts who are getting this funds and they can't spend it because they can't find people to come in and help and to want to do the programming. So they're really, you know, we're being very creative in how we're doing this, whereas people in other districts are sitting on the money and not able to provide programs for students. So kudos to you and to everyone that's put this together. So
And
thank you.
Jason's done a great job, and also it's a team, Mike McAdam, with all
Absolutely.
these contracts and all these having to manage this. So
I was just
the
gonna
two
say.
of them, they're a great team.
That's
in
nice.
bringing these contractors, consultants in.
Well, and all of our requirements, right, is making sure that everything that we've asked for that's being done, that you guys are making sure that that happens. So definitely appreciate all the hard work.
I know our parents appreciate it too, so thank you.
Just a quick question. When are we going to know if we're getting that extra funding?
After the May revise?
There's a May revise, so the governor will release his May revise. It's next 19th?
He releases it next week. It's the May revise, but we really won't know until the budget is adopted, probably July 1st.
Yeah.
But
We'll have a
usually it's pretty
close,
sound,
yeah.
but some things could happen.
So if it does, we might be able to actually expand
Yes,
this? Because
yes,
I know we were talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
I move to approve Y and AA.
Second. Okay, it's been moved and seconded. We approve Y and AA. Any other comments? All right, all those in favor say aye.
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 Okay, any opposed? All right, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, we're moving on already to our discussion items. Right? Review the process.
You're up.
All right. This might be why we have so many principals still here. We just want to appreciate all of our principals for all of the hard work that you put into your site plans. We know that it's a labor of love, and know that we actually read them. So, right, Dana?
Okay, welcome everyone. Thank you, principals, for being here. The Single Plan for Student Achievement is a plan that every school makes to help students do their best in school. It includes goals, activities, data, and ideas to help all students learn. The SIPSA, as we refer to it, also ensures that the schools follow the rules for using money to support learning, keeping students safe, help students with social emotional supports, and families and supporting families at home on how to help their children. This year, we have transitioned to a spring approval timeline as opposed to in prior years it was in November, to better align with the local control and accountability plan, which is LCAP. And also, it better aligns with the budgeting process. The shift allows for greater coherence between district and site level planning and provides schools with a more timely guidance to prepare for the following school year. Each plan shows how schools will spend its money on each goal. Some schools also include special actions to help student groups that are particular to their school sites who are in need of support. With the new timeline, at the end of the year, each school can also check and inform and revise if the plan is working and make changes to keep improving. This evening, you will approve or have the opportunity to approve the process that the SPSAs have gone through and accept all 20 of the Fullerton School District SPSAs for the 25-26 school year. The process for most schools, as we have seen, is that schools typically from August to September will hold an election of SSC, school site council openings by parents and staff, and this is in conjunction with the principal at the helm. These dates are sent to all SSC members and public publicly posted the second Monday of the stated month. In October and November, they have a training of officers. They go through a bylaw review process. They review the SPSA and explain what that process looks like. And they go through their parent involvement policy. If they're a Title I school, they go through a little bit more of a detailed process. Also reviewing the school and family compact. Schools do a great outreach program with their families, their communities, to get them involved as part of the SPSA process, as well as getting input from the ELAC committee as well as site leaderships to make sure their goals are measurable, timely, and specific strategic actions and resource allocations are aligned. One particular school that we wanted to highlight tonight was Commonwealth, because they not to take away from any of our other principals, but they do an amazing job at their putting together their SSC and outlining the SIPSA process. So I do want to bring Jean up. She's going to open with a little ditty for you.
So lower your expectations.
Wow. She is. She's going to open with a number.
I
from
will
Cass.
not be singing tonight, but thank you. I'm speaking off the cuff. I know that you're a little bit more prepared than I am, but we did talk about the process and sort of what we go through in terms of making sure that all of our parents, all of our community groups feel like they've been included in the process of devising the school plan for student achievement. We also happen to, we have a really strong ELAC committee this year, so what we were fortunate to be able to, because of the timeline change, I don't know if anyone else noticed this, it was nice to be able to go to the ELAC and talk about the SIPSA, to talk about the school plan with more than one family group. We also were fortunate at Commonwealth to be a part of the community schools program, and we have also been going through the California Engagement Initiative. So that's a big push to really try to engage the community as much as possible. And so one of the things we instituted this year were family chats. And those are, I'm not present at the family chat, but my SSA, who has a really strong relationship with a lot of families and is a great, she's just a great leader. In fact, she was recognized by the PTA not too long ago. And she leads those chats, and then I get that feedback from her. It just gives the parents a very comfortable way to give their input. And I don't have to be there all the time, but I do love to be with that ELAC group. They give us a lot of great feedback. The school site council, we spend a lot of time at the beginning of the year in the first 2 meetings kind of going over what you do as a school site council, especially if you have new parents. It's kind of a cumbersome process, so we want to make them feel comfortable with that. By the time December and January rolls around, we have a pretty good draft plan. This year we really went through it again because it was a kind of a different format than what we were used to, but that also allowed us to look at some things that needed to change, that maybe we'd been doing them, but they weren't as effective as they could be, and looking at how the data was showing us where we really need to focus more. And then we could take that SIPSA, we could take that plan back to ELAC and say, this, from your input, this is what we have changed in the plan or what we've added to the plan. And then by the time February, March comes around, I have to say the principals do a lot of the work. The plan is made by the principals, all of whom I know are probably a little tired about now because we're used to going to bed early. But it's a lot of work to get that plan formulated, and then you take it back to those important stakeholder groups, and then you get their approval on it, and then you are set to go. And then we just keep monitoring all of those programs that we have outlined in the SIPSA and through the end of the school year, and then we can start again next fall.
Thank you, Jean. So as you can see, the SIPSA undergoes a very cyclical process. It's very dynamic. Our principals and their school sites and community members are constantly changing and revising to meet the needs of students, and it wouldn't be possible without the support of our data team, which is Sung and George, because the data that we get is very sometimes antiquated from the state, but we actually use real-time data with our iReady scores from D1, D2, and D3. So I do want to say, make sure that we give kudos to Sung and George especially, and also Dr. Sotero Reese, who actually held several series of open office hours to support our principals in this shift in writing through this process. So I will take any questions and comments around that before you all take a vote on our SPSAs. Thank you, Gina.
Are we voting or are we just commenting?
We need you to approve the.
Okay, right now we're just going to comment.
Yeah.
So questions and comments, and then we'll figure out if we're voting or not.
Okay, so I don't have any questions, but I do want to comment because I've been at Commonwealth at ELAC meetings when Jean has brought all this information to the parents, and I've seen the process of how parents are involved. And I just have to say she does do a phenomenal job, and she is there at the ELAC meetings. And so thank you. I know it's a lot of work, and I know you're all doing it all. So thank you. I appreciate you, especially, you know, when we have to read every single one. I mean, we don't have to, but. So thank you. Thank you. I know it's a lot of work.
I'll also say thank you. I know it takes a lot of work, and especially into our school site councils too. Other the folks that serve on that, the parents at home listening, thank you for doing that work and sacrifice for your community. It is really helpful for us. I know our goal is just to approve and say thank you and accept these, but it really does help us, I think, as trustees to know what's going on with each school, to have a really clear idea of the challenges, the goals, the hard work that y'all are doing, and get a flavor of what makes each school unique and special, and what you're focused on, whether it's from the mission statement down to the things you're excelling at and the things you're working on. It really does help us better understand it, how we can encourage you. And to that point, I really do appreciate seeing some of the really articulated SMART goals and the specific ways that many of our schools articulated the measurable progress that they're working on, growth by 3% or, 3 points distance from standard in math. Those are the kind of things that we can say, hey, how's it going? And when you do, we can celebrate with you. I'm looking at Woodcrest, where we saw great growth in 6% to 32% of the kids with special education meeting their goals. That's awesome. We want to celebrate those things. So having those targeted SMART goals that we can measure with numbers really does help us know what you're working on and how we can support you, and whether that's with putting the finance or just the encouragement. So thank you for that work. And I love also, I would just say, seeing the integration of our goals too. When I look at like LCAP number 1, that's on mostly ELA and math, but then it also includes citizenship and civic engagement. And we look at LCAP goal number 2 around tech, but it also includes digital citizenship and wellness and safety online. I appreciate that you all are thinking so holistically and cohesively of how these are not just buckets of individualized work, but really the holistic approach. I see the intentional effort to integrate these things, and I really appreciate that as you're moving our schools and our kids forward.
Absolutely. And the point is that, when we talk with our parents or, in community, parents are always saying, well, I don't feel like I have a voice. I don't feel like I have anywhere I can go. I can't tell them. Having this available to our parents to be able to say, you know what, you have an opportunity. You have an opportunity to contribute with your school site council. A lot of very involved parents start at their school site councils, right? I mean, one being, I'm sure all of us up here might have served on our school site councils at one time or another. But that's just, it starts that process with not only our community having a voice, but our parents having a voice and being able to have them be your best spokespeople, right? So that people, other parents at that school know who they can come to. What's going on with this? What's going on that? Not only do you have PTAs, but school site councils that are just a little bit different. And not that, it's not always the same people. And I think that's what's really important for me is to expand that pool of parents, to not always be those same parents, right? Sometimes it's only those same parents that say, yes, I want to do this. but really as principals sitting back and saying, okay, I'm going to start encouraging others to use a voice, because I might not want to be on the PTA or work, volunteer that way, but I certainly might want to be part of what my kids are learning, or what we're spending our money on. So there's a different group of people that are there, and to really advertise that, to make sure that you are, as principals, opening yourselves up and saying, come on, we really want to encourage that, because sometimes, we just check the boxes. And I think what we're up here saying is that we love it when you really do that mindful recruitment and bringing those people in, and being able to look at your plan, like Jean was saying, look at what we've been doing in the past, and that doesn't work anymore. Just because it was on last year's template doesn't mean it needs to be on this year's template. So really taking a look and making sure that happens. So thank you for all of your hard work in everything that you guys do, because that school site plan is, what keeps you guys going. So we appreciate it. On that note, I think we are going to vote for reviewing the process of our 2025, 2026 school site plans. James, did I ask you if you had anything? I don't remember.
Nothing.
Okay. All right. Do I have a motion?
So moved. I move to approve the SIPSA for 2025-2026.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any other questions or comments? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. And I should have left this to the last so that you guys all.
They're gonna run out.
stay
I want to see who's gonna be the
here.
first one to run out. Hold on. Let's put a
I
camera
don't know.
over
It's still early, you guys. It's
I'm
still
not allowed to
early.
use my phone, but hold on.
Come
Let
on,
me
it's
just
only.
put it on record.
Should I pause and just let all the stampede go?
Yes.
Go.
Bathroom break.
You guys have an early day tomorrow.
Thank you.
Okay, and we're gonna take a 5-minute
Thank
person
you.
necessity break. FSD. Dr. Brown.
Okay, yes. I cannot see those tiny little words, but we are discussing the MOU between Delta Prep Foundation and Fullerton School District. So Anna is going to pull it up.
Technical difficulties.
Okay. And Dr. Bob, how would you like me to proceed? Do you want me to go through it, or do you want them to just discuss whatever?
How do you want
Okay,
it?
yeah.
So I could just share a little bit. So we did, where I had heard some input, we try to make those changes. In addition to that, we have gone to the attorneys. We did take a day skip, and so through this process. So at this point, we asked them for the indemnification language, and so that was the A skip part of it. And then the attorney helped us with everything else. And then I did try to, if I didn't capture it, feel free to change what you want. But I tried to make some of the changes that I heard from the last meeting. So at this point, it's up to you. If you want to have some changes, feel free.
When you make your suggestions, let me know the subsection number so I can keep notes.
I think I have less than you, Ruthie. So I wanted to make a comment on number 4.3, which I'm very happy about, scholarships. That was one of my biggest things. And I just want to say that I'm happy to see that the scholarships will cover full tuition, which is amazing. But I did have a question. So I had to briefly mention that because I love the fact that now we have full scholarships. There's a little bit of small print, but it's we'll take the win right now. Number 3.4. Delta, during their designated rental hours, will have full access to the field, and no other academies or organizations will be permitted to use the field at the same time. I think I have here on my notes that they are there from Monday through Friday from 1 to 3:30. So can you define what other academies or organizations? You're not talking about the school, correct?
Correct, no.
Okay, so the school is able to do all of their classes and be able to use, it's just outside.
Yes, so let's just say the Yogi Bear organization wants to come in, I'm making this up, wants to come in and put in an MOU or a facilitron request with the same field at the same time. They would then not be able to use that same area. If they wanted to use another area, they would have to go through that process and then be approved by the principal or school site administration, as long as it's available and doesn't impact instructional.
This is just the same.
Yeah.
It's the same language we use for
Civic
every
Center.
group. So as an example, if we have a baseball team that wants to use a baseball diamond, if they pay for the baseball diamond during that use, they get to use it. So we changed the word exclusive. Originally, when I had talked with the attorney about the word exclusive, she was saying that that's what the reference is, meaning you pay for a use of a field at a certain time, you get to use it. So that's the meaning, but we try to take out the word exclusivity, and so this is the language she put in instead.
So if, let's say, between 1:30 and 3:30 on Wednesdays, Delta decides that they no longer need it, but it's part of the contract. If they're not using it, then it's free and open for anybody else to use it, even though it says here Monday through Friday.
Yeah, I
From
mean,
1:30 to 3:30.
We'll work with organizations.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't
So it's
use
open
it.
to interpretation depending on when they're using it or who's using the field.
Correct.
At that moment. Okay.
Correct.
Just want to make sure it wasn't like you just said, like set in stone during that time. It's off limits, period.
Yeah, no.
It's open. Okay.
Correct.
Thank you.
But they would have to go through the principal to make sure.
Yes.
that-
No,
Correct.
of course.
Yes.
No, of course.
So we did have that discussion, and I appreciate that the phrase on the original contract that we reviewed this week was that it was an exclusive use, and we've removed that phrase, I think, in this version of the MOU, because what we discussed is, we discussed last month that we want to revise our policy so that we are ensuring that we're in alignment with the Civic Center Act, which says that other organizations could also say, hey, we want to use these facilities, and so it would be inappropriate for us to have an exclusive clause if, say, for instance, Delta isn't using the tennis courts, and a tennis pro academy says, actually, we'd love to use the tennis courts. Are they available? Does the principal approve? Is it feasible? We can't deny them if these facilities are not being used at that time, right? Under our Civic Center Act.
Yeah.
In the way that we're using it.
Right. And I think the attorney did a nice job of just trying to be very clear. If you're renting this field on this day, then you get to use it. And again, that's not unique. If they rent a particular space, they get to use the space during the designated time.
No one else is coming in having a party also.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. That's great. I'm glad to see that changes in this updated version of our MOU. Anything else, Vanessa?
No, I'm okay. Go ahead, Ruthie.
Okay.
No,
Go ahead.
Ernie, do you have anything? All right. Okay. I was going to ask James. James?
Yes, I have a couple of questions and comments. First question is 3.3.1 and 3.3.2 are two new subclauses. Why were they added? Were there incidents?
I need to see that. Okay, so thank you for that question. We wanted to differentiate between students who come on our campus to shadow during a trial period that are non-FSD students, and making sure that that is allowable. And as Dr. Bob mentioned, we did consult with the attorney to be able to parse it out that way. So during the school day, meaning up until 3:30, only FSD students are the ones who can participate, because we don't want to have non-FSD students on our campus participating. That may be in another academy or maybe in another site. But we do want to distinguish that non-FSD students may participate after school during summer or spring break, because Delta does hold camps on our campus as well to the community, and sometimes for free, most of the times for free. And then we wanted to make sure that we call out that they do have trial or shadow days where these non-FSD students come, and that it is allowable as long as they check in with the principal and the principal is aware. So that was the delineation we wanted to make.
So the shadow days would be allowed during school hours?
Correct. Correct.
Okay. And for this past year, where these clauses weren't in the MOU, were there non-FSD students on the Parks campus?
So initially, in the initial contract, they would have been allowed, but with consultation from our principal, we wanted to make it really clear that during school hours, would be students from Fullerton School District. So we called that out, and that's a piece that I think the principal supports this new language more strongly. And I think with the piece that I think is important is it reduces some of the complexity of kids coming on the campus from another school, and it will be students, they will be Fullerton students. So that's why we called it out. Last year it was potentially open, and while we didn't have students, it was possible. In this case, we closed that we'll call it a loophole, but we closed that down.
Okay, then my second question is for 3.4. I do not interpret the clause the way that I think y'all are interpreting it. I actually do read some exclusivity in here, so my recommendation is delete 3.4 completely, and instead add in 3.2. In collaboration with the site principal, DPF will have, and just insert one word, priority access, and then for 3.1, we'll have priority access. I think if you add the word priority in front of access, that'll make it clear that you paid for these spaces through this MOU. You're going to get those spaces over all else, but it will make it abundantly clear by deleting 3.4 that you are not getting exclusivity, and that other organizations can, if they want to, do the same thing that you're doing. And the reason for that is I do read this clause to still have some exclusivity.
I'm fine with that. I mean,
You're fine to do it. The attorney, her point was, there is a reasonable expectation that when you rent a particular space on a particular day, that you have whatever word, if you want to use prioritize, that's why that's in there. And I think that's a reasonable piece because it is the same piece that everybody else has. But I do understand, James, your point, and if the word priority makes more sense for the board, that's fine. I think we just want the understanding that we need to have as a board and what we want to communicate is that we're not double renting the same space. We're not trying to, if the Rangers rent a space, we're not giving the same soccer goal to another team at the same time. We're not double renting the exact same space. That's the purpose of that. But I think the word priority, if that makes everybody feel more comfortable, I think that's fine.
Oh, I'm sorry, Vanessa.
Sorry, I see where James is coming from, and that's why I questioned it, because it does say no other will be permitted. So it does kind of give some sort of exclusivity, which is why I questioned if, it wasn't being used. So, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, so just to be clear, so your suggestion would be to delete 3.4, and where it says 3.1, I'm going to just go to the comma. DPF will have priority access to field space for sports activities, ... 3.2, in collaboration with the site principal, DPF will have priority access to 2 classrooms or learning spaces, ...
Yes, because that will remove, I think, any ambiguity about exclusivity, and it'll also address Trustee Estrella's point of if they don't use it, then it can go to someone else. But if they do want to use it, they get priority access.
I support that.
Okay.
I want to ask a question then about, to start at the very top, the terms of agreement. We discussed last month about removing it from an automatic renewal to one that leaves the option to renew every July. I think especially as we're looking at forming an ad hoc committee to review our Civic Center compliance, I don't want to then have to come back and redo this contract should we decide that it's an annual process or whatever our decision might be. So I think I would like to say that rather than it automatically renews on July 1st, that there is the option for both parties to renew every July 1st.
We do that anyway, though, right? I mean, don't we bring this every year and renew it?
I feel like we're giving it special attention right now.
I thought Dr. Brown didn't say they renew. We have to bring it back each
We don't
year?
have to. No. We don't have to. We're just doing this because we want to get the language right. But technically, we don't have to. We could just Dr. Bob could just sign the MOU and we could just move on if nobody has any issues.
Or it would be, I assume, a consent agenda.
Yes.
That we would say, as long as we don't have a problem with it, we just continue to renew.
So we'll just strike out, why don't we just strike out, shall automatically renew each year on July 1st? Let's just we'll remove that line. Is that good?
Yeah, or option to renew. Shall automatically
or have the option
retain
to renew.
the option to renew every year on July 1st.
Do we do that with all MOUs? Do we have to approve them every year, or are we just saying
I think
this
it's fair.
particular one we're doing every year?
I think it's obviously fair for the board because this is something new. It's in school, and that's why we're going to have an ad hoc committee. So I think, but generally speaking, yes, we have example Facilitron. Every year, the sports teams use our facilities, and I don't come back to you. It's just a part of our Facilitron process, and so on those sorts of routine procedures, I typically don't. That doesn't mean that you guys couldn't at some point in the future bring it back.
But they have to apply. They have to say, I want this date for this soccer tournament. They don't get to just say, I got it last year, so I have it forever.
No, but
right?
what I'm saying is I don't necessarily come back to the board on the Facilitron. The Facilitron process, each year people have to apply for that process, but they're not applying right now. You've made me the designee every year, and to be honest, I think it's Rob and in the past it's been Scott and Eddie, and they manage that process. So I guess I'm trying to answer Bev's question: do we bring back the MOUs for all organizations that use our facilities? No, because we have the Facilitron process. but acknowledging this is unique, and that's why we're bringing it to the board, so.
So if we take out the word automatically and just insert have the option to renew each year on July 1st?
I'm good with that.
Dave,
So,
do you have that?
so keeping it in.
I
and
have
just
writing it down.
Yeah, this is James. I think it'd just be easier if you just match the next item's contract, right? Which just has a 1-year term. Because that contract also would have to come up again. Why not just have it
With the
match
buses.
dates wise?
One more time.
He said we should match if we could match the transportation MOU language because it comes up anyway. So I'm striking automatically renew and put inserting have the option to renew each year.
Dr. Bob, I think one of the things on the Facilitron with use of facilities, what we kind of do is we give first right of refusal if they had used it for a year, and they do a reapply, kind of have first right of refusal to apply, so that 2 people come in. I don't know if that helps or if you want the language.
Yeah, I mean, I think our ad hoc committee will specifically address, I think what's unique about this is we want rules for in school, and that's why our ad hoc committee is here. So, and I think this particular MOU is trying to keep that in mind, as opposed to the Rangers on a Saturday.
Okay. James, do you have more?
Yeah, so I'm just looking ahead at the next item's contract, and there's a period after, unless terminated earlier by either party.
Oh, the transportation contract. Wait.
Number 2. Number
Wait,
2 on the
number
transportation contract says this agreement shall be effective July 1, 2025 and continue through June 30th, 2026 unless terminated by either party, period.
There's no option to renew.
So that just means
Yeah,
every
so,
year it comes back.
I mean, we should probably just match it, right?
Well, isn't the transportation one, it's standard?
It's a standard contract, yes.
Transportation contract is a standard one we use
Right.
with everyone.
Okay. I have a question about 3.2. It says that we would provide up to 2 classrooms, and I know that we had a discussion about that being with the assumption that the program may grow and need 2 classrooms. So my question is for the principals of the school. Do you have a second classroom? Is that a possibility? Or should we leave it at 1 without knowing their space?
I mean, something is always a possibility, but at this point, I don't have any empty classrooms. That may change as staffing changes. So at any given moment, I can't predict exactly where I will be. Currently, at this exact moment, all of our classrooms are in use. But if, for example, they wanted to use it on a Wednesday from 2 to 3:30 after we're no longer in session, then they could use a second room for like a special event or something along those lines.
Could we say have access up to 2 classrooms? That way you don't have to do 2?
I mean, I'm comfortable with it says in collaboration with me. If I don't have the
Yeah.
space, they can't use it. If I have the space and it works for our schedule, then obviously I would let them use it.
Yeah, you always have right of refusal. Okay, as long as, I think that's clarity on our part that it's at your discretion. And obviously, if the goal is to grow the program, you're going to have more students, not fewer. So it's going to be harder and harder to find those classrooms.
And I can't predict what the future holds, but if the program does grow to a certain extent, there is going to become like a max capacity because we have a finite amount of space. We are not at max capacity currently.
Okay, great.
They may just have to stagger their people.
The next item I wanted to discuss is 4.2. And it talks about the $5,000 that would be given for primarily what we discussed last month, which was through really about reimbursement of staff time and direct cost to our staff in order to facilitate the program and oversee it from a logistical perspective. We're asking that Delta already gives $4,000 for the field specifically because of the wear and tear, but then the $5,000 is for direct costs of staff, which is allowable under the Civic Center Act. I asked Rob if he could provide just some specific language around that, because I think at least from an outsider, just to see, $5,000 to district towards parks programs kind of sounds like a bonus or something, rather than a reimbursement for the actual cost of our staff time to facilitate this program. So I would like to propose something like, based on allowable charges under the Civic Center Act, revenue received from Delta Prep Foundation will cover direct costs associated with the use of Parks Junior High School up to $5,000 per year.
Yes.
It's more explicit about why that amount and what the money is for. Yep.
We'll still give it to you, Robin, though.
Yeah, but I think for transparency reasons, I want it to be clear why the money is
it's not
being
just
paid.
a willy-nilly charge.
Yeah, just picked it out of the air, bonus just for doing this program, but actually it's to reimburse our hardworking staff for the time that they put into this. I also agree on section 4.3 that I'm really grateful that Delta is offering scholarships. And I was wondering if kind of thinking about process, because it feels like students should be accepted before then scholarships are discussed in order to avoid discrimination.
Yes.
So I wanted to make sure that is that the process by which it's happening?
Yes, so what's been happening typically is we have our orientation nights, parents meet with Delta, they go over the process, the cost, the down payment. We kind of step out of that at that point. We're just the enrollment piece. But I know they accept the students, and then most of the time the parents will come to them and say, hey, I can't afford this. Most recently we had 3 siblings who the parents were going to have to make a decision to say, I can only afford 1 and not 2, and they were going to split the 3 up into multiple academies, but all 3 were scholarship for next year, so that's amazing. So now all 3 will be attending Parks and Delta next year. But yes, so they are accepted first, and then they go through the whole process of making sure they follow all of those guidelines
Great.
that's outlined.
And I know that's probably hard for families to wait, saying, we want to be in the program, but we don't know if we have the money.
Yeah.
But it means that then, by that logic, that the students are accepted on their merit of whether they qualify for the program, not whether they can afford it. So
Yes.
Thank you very much for clarifying that.
I just have a quick question on that. Are parents notified, and are they told apply regardless of, are they told to apply? Because if I know I can't afford it, I'm not gonna apply.
Yes, so when we did our orientations and Delta spoke with the parents, that's the first thing that JD lets parents know. We will not turn away any student. So he does let them know, like, right up front, no student will be turned away if you can't afford it. If you want to be a part of it and you meet the criteria, we will take your child.
Okay,
yeah.
Thank you.
If we could go to 6.2, it's the discussion of the required training courses. And I asked the question of staff and clarified that these are courses that are provided and approved by our district. So I want to make sure that is that added to the language yet, or it's going to be?
It will be, yes,
Okay, great.
yes.
Because I think, again, just to make it very clear that we are the ones both providing and approving the training that's happening. So it's not just a training, but it's that which we uphold as the best, right? Great. I think that's important to have in the MOU. Again, I see this as setting precedents for the way that we will conduct any kind of MOUs with organizations that are looking to use the Civic Center Act facilities use. And the last thing that I asked earlier was about training for Delta staff in our emergency procedures and even our practice runs, making sure that they're included in the school schedule and training options. And I know that there was a discussion about including them along with our ELOP partners. So if you want to share a little bit more about that.
Yes, so we actually have a meeting already planned for May 28th where we'll be discussing with both Delta and then Encore and folks who are involved in the Encore program, how do we address, particularly there's 5 instances where we want to make sure they have training: fire drills, earthquake drills, what we call shelter in place, what we call a school lockdown, and then an active intruder. So making sure that they're part of the drills and then understand the procedures related to that too for any group that's on the campus at any time that those may occur.
So pretty much all of the contracts we approved today, all of those vendors would be part of this?
Yes, they'll be part of it and they'll be trained. So if they have students on the field or students at the lunch benches or any of those situations where then we have one of those 5 incidents come up, they know exactly how to respond.
That's great. I think Thank you for making sure our kids are safe all the time that they're on our campuses. That's really great.
Thank you.
So I'm ready to approve this with those changes.
Okay, I have.
I have one more question.
Okay.
Okay, I have one too. Go ahead, James.
Do we need to make clear that this does not include the new gym that's about to be built, or have you already had those discussions?
I've already had the discussion with them that the gyms are not included. We have all kinds of elementary schools. If the junior highs can't fill it up, I know our elementary schools can. And I also know LV will be happy to share some of the love to other schools as well. So yes, no, they won't be using them.
Because we are identifying just the field.
Correct.
Okay.
And a classroom.
And the question I have was, this is year-round?
Yes.
And so I wanted to make sure that during the summer, I know that during the summer, there have been some activities at parks using the fields. And wanted to make sure that there's no competition that, you know, if we've already approved one group, that this group is using a different area. So making sure that communication stays intact.
Yes, so because Delta does have an MOU, we still require them to do the facilitron for the off-peak season, which was considered spring break summer, just to make sure that our custodial team, the principal, everyone is aware that they are using the field and they are on campus. So it is blocked out in the system and as well as through the MOU.
And is there anything extra that they have to pay during the summer when staff are not there? Like for the custodial, is that extra or is that included in the 5,000?
It's included in the current fees that they have to pay.
Okay, so that includes summer.
Yes.
When we don't have staff that we have to pay for having someone there.
Yes.
To clean up after them.
Yes.
Okay.
Would they only have access on the days that we already have FSD staff?
Yeah,
working?
so this doesn't necessarily approve all summer. So
Yeah.
if they want to use it for the summer, actually, like everybody else, they'll just need to fill out the facilitron.
So, yeah.
Or if so anytime that's not specifically mentioned, they would go through, the regular process on the out of school.
Well, because it doesn't state Monday through Friday during the school year. It just it looks like it's all year long. And they do reference non-district students may participate after school during summer on spring break. So it made reference to it. So it led me to believe that it was all year and that they
this
didn't have to
one-
do anything extra.
Rob,
Oh, yeah,
can you,
I just want to make sure that we're not.
Is it summer as in summer school?
they're gonna need to do the facilitron anyways for the summer.
They did.
We're gonna need to go through that process because we have other groups competing with it. So regardless, they'll need to go through the facilitron process to do that.
I am
So-
assuming that all the 22 vendors that we just approved have their own schedule, have their own time, because it's an after-school program. And would they have priority?
Yeah, so
over?
our after-school program is gonna have priority.
Priority.
So during the summer.
Regardless of whatever
regardless,
time.
yeah.
Okay. Robin, are you okay with this contract? You're good? I know putting you on the spot. Did we forget anything that might be helpful?
So I guess my only question
for
then,
you
I
guys?
think, I understand where you're coming from, Bev, like with that saying Monday through Friday, 1:30 to 3:30 during the school year, and then a facilitron request for summer, like they can still have priority access, but like we have the Boy Scout camps and things like that, and so if that is, I've already approved those, so for summer, I want to make sure that like if they're using the field, the Boy Scouts can do it too.
Right. That's why we need them to, if they want to use other fields, again, at that point, there's other process. We have a regular process for outside of school time. They're going to need to do that because of what you just said. We've got to get that in there so that people can see what fields are available or not available.
So Delta has already put in their facilitron request for the summer. They typically only use 1 week because they do a summer camp, and it's already in the facilitron, and they're using the upper field, which does not impact any of the current groups that are also using parks for the summer as well.
So just for reference, would we be able to add that on to the MOU? I would like to make sure that we have that in writing, so then it doesn't come back to us and,
Let's add in
the summer.
and in the summer, they need to fill out the Facilitron form.
So it'd be
form.
August through
And it will be available
June 1st,
based
and
on
then
non-school
availability.
days or
They
something?
wouldn't have they wouldn't have priority
During
during the
non-school
summer.
time or non-school days, they
Yeah.
must reserve through the
Facilitron.
district reservation system.
I would like to have that added to the MOU.
Okay. So do you want summer and spring break? What's
I was
in
just
there?
saying during non-school, like
Okay.
when school's not in session.
There's just a practical element of it, what Robin just brought up, because you have people scheduling the time, and Facilitron is the way for all the organizations to see what's available and not available, and then it still also goes through Robin. And so, yeah.
Okay.
So good call. We'll add it.
Okay. All right, anything else for this item? This 1B or B? All right, so with no other changes, so I would say that we need a motion to approve the facility use agreement with changes between Fullerton School District and Delta Prep Foundation, effective July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026.
So
Okay.
moved.
Okay. There's been a motion. Is there a second? I'll second.
Second.
Okay, Vanessa, second. All right. Any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, any opposed, say no. Okay, there you go. All right, item C, the transportation agreement for Delta Prep.
Rob has, but basically this is like right off.
It's our standard
standard
agreement that we use with anybody else who contracts with us for transportation.
Okay. Anybody have any changes for this? James, do you have any comments on this one?
No, ma'am.
All right, anybody? No? Okay. Then do I have a motion to approve the one-year agreement between Fullerton School District and Delta Prep Foundation for Transportation Services for the 2025-2026 school year?
So moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Any other questions? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, great. All right. Here's the tax man. I was gonna say it there.
The good news is we don't need to adjourn and go to our special.
Oh, I can't be the queen president of this company?
Well, you can. So there's two items here, D and E. We'll take D first. This is CFD 40-1. This is in the Vandale area, which is up by Bass-Century State College. And this is 110 parcels, 91 of them are taxable, and every parcel, it has the same amount of $1,230.56. This is not a debt that the district has, it's what the community has. It's set to be paid off in 2031. And so this is an annual item that we bring to the board where the board has to set the amount per parcel that will then show up on their tax roll for 25-26.
Okay.
I move to approve this item.
Okay, second. It's been moved and seconded that we adopt Resolution 25-26, CFD 40-01, authorizing and providing the levying of special taxes within the Community Facilities District 2000-1, District 40, Vandale. Any other comments about it? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, passes.
Okay, this next one, E, a little bit larger. This is the Ambridge Heights up by Fissler. 1,213 parcels, of which 1,129 are taxable. And this is a little different. It's based on the size of the parcel. There's 7 different rates from $828.50 all the way up to $2,140.28. And this one too, set to expire on 2031. For some context, back in 2013, the board took action to refinance actually both of them for $16 million. Currently, there's 8.2 at the end of last year, of June 30th, 2024, there was 8.2 million. So the money that's being applied now, more is going towards the principal. When they refinance, got a really great rate. So it helped to save those taxpayers. But this is for the Amherst Heights CFD.
All right. Do I have a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we adopt Resolution 25/26, CFD 48-01, authorizing and providing the levying of special taxes within the Community Facilities District 2001-1, District 48, Amherst Heights. Anybody else have any concerns or questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Okay, any opposed? All right, you're good there? All right, Measure N Citizens Bond Oversight Committee, Rob.
Right, so good news, on May 7th, we received, sold our bonds for the first series, $49 million. And one of the things we need to do is part of passing Measure N is we need to have an independent Citizens Bond Oversight Committee. And so before you are the names of 7 individuals. Reminder what this committee does, they're not an advisory committee, they don't decide on projects, they don't decide on the color of buildings. They are there to make sure that the district is spending the money exactly as we said in the bond resolution and what the voters voted for. You'll hear, not in this district, you'll hear stories of other districts where it's probably why this is a requirement is pass a bond and they're spending it for things that weren't even in the bond agreement. You know, maybe they're buying school buses. Well, no, you can't use bond funds to buy a school bus. And so their job is to provide oversight and make sure that we're spending appropriately. There are different categories of this committee. You need to have a parent guardian. There's a parent guardian, there's another parent guardian who has to be active in a PTA. You can have 2 members of the community at large, could also be parents or members of the community at large. You need to have a member of an active bona fide taxpayers association, member of a senior citizens organization, and a member of the active business organization. So these 7 people have, they contacted us, we contacted them. It's not easy to get some people to even volunteer for 1 or 2 meetings a year. But these people, bless them, said they would step up and they would serve on this. It's a 2-year term for this, these committees. Probably what we'll do, we'll put everybody on for 2 years, see who just wants to maybe do a year, and then if they want to re-up, that way it's not vacant all at the same time, but we'll start out with everybody with the term. And so these are the names that the board would appoint.
Are there term limits?
There are no term limits. It's just 2 years at a time.
But I will say, we are very grateful to these people because none of them, we'll just say that we pleaded with the community, anybody please step forward.
Recruited.
We advertised in the paper.
Yeah.
And we had to call in some favors. We made them an offer they couldn't refuse.
We said that
good
they're
one.
going to get coffee
I
and
was
water and
told-
tea.
One of the people I talked to said it was a pleasure.
Good.
Yes, they did. And these people, they cannot be employees of the district, and so there are other requirements.
Okay.
But by the way, if in the future you find somebody that really is like, no, I really want to do it, we will have a place for them. We'll put them in line.
Okay. All right. Do I have a motion to approve the appointment of the members to the Measure N Citizens Bond Oversight Committee?
I motion to approve these members.
Second.
Okay, then moved and seconded that we approve these members happily. Any other comments?
Thank you to everybody that signed up for this.
Yeah, those are definitely some folks that have already contributed to our community and to our district. I see, our DLAC president and a member of our Measure N committee and other leaders in our community, in both the business community, the nonprofit, and our school district. So
Nice to have the diversity.
Yeah, it's great.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, great. Go and oversight. Oversee, yeah.
All right, so the last one is just did I have it right?
Second to last.
Yeah, the ad hoc committee. So this is just, we have moved into new territory, and that is the in-school use. And we have done it before, but we want to try to formalize some of the rules around that. And so we're asking for 2 members of the board to sit on the ad hoc committee. You'll be meeting, the attorney will help guide us through that and all of those things. And we promise it won't be too painful, just maybe a couple, I think probably in 2 meetings, be able to get it done. And then we would just bring it back to the whole board.
Is there hope to have it back before the school year starts?
Yeah, I think depending on your schedules, whoever volunteers, the hope would be that you would, hopefully maybe meet in June and then maybe in July. Those of you, some of you may be out of town, so but we could move it if you can't do it in July and you want to do it first week of August. But our goal would be by the start of school.
And is it just board members, or could we have staff on this?
Oh, yeah, no.
And can we have any committee members or parents?
So
What does this look like?
This is really just that established kind of the legal guidelines. So in this case, Rob does a lot of work with all our nonprofits. So it would be Rob, and it'll be our attorney, and it would be two board members. Now, it'll come back to the whole group and obviously but at this point, we want to get a little bit of I think some direction from the board, what it is that you want around this. So, and we can provide examples of how we are using or opening those fields to nonprofits out of school. We have a long history of working with partner groups beyond the school day, and so that's where Rob's expertise will come in. And like I said, I think 2 meetings and you'll be able to get it done.
So this is just board members, pretty much. We're not bringing in any parents or any community members or anybody else to look at this.
No.
Yeah, if I recall, we were discussing how to regularize our contact and coordination with outside groups who want to use our facilities and maintain our legality under this, this act that governs how we're supposed to utilize public space. And as I recall, it was my suggestion that we have an ad hoc committee. But if anybody else wants to be on this ad hoc committee, but I'm happy to do it if.
Okay, so it sounds like Aruni would like to offer his services without payment, right?
There'll be coffee, right?
Yeah, there'll be coffee.
I'm happy to join too.
Okay, sounds like Aruni and Ruthie. We can have a vote if anybody else wants to do it. We can have a secret ballot vote.
Anyone?
Secret ballot votes.
I make a motion.
Okay. So we're going to approve Aruni and Ruthie as our 2 representatives for our ad hoc committee. They seem to.
All right.
Perfect. All right. Do I need to vote? Do we need to vote on that? Oh yeah, let's just do it. Do I have a motion to approve Aruni and Ruthie as our?
I make a motion.
Okay, motion. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, it's been seconded. Any questions? Anybody? All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Thank you both for giving blood today. Thank you.
I think this is something they want to do. Okay. The last item on our agenda is our calendar, right?
Yes, and this is
just
for
a first read, right?
First read, correct. No action this evening. This is just to put out for the public and for the board to view our 26-27 school year calendar. So this is not for the coming school year, but the year after. We like to get it out in advance so families and employees can make plans and see what's up and coming. We have a committee that puts this together. This committee consists of administrators, representatives from FETA, representatives from CSEA, and also parents and community members. And you'll notice that our calendar very closely matches what happens at the high school district, as if students attend the high school, if families have students that attend the high school and the elementary school, we want to make sure that they are attending school at the same time.
I always have to throw out I always love to see junior high stagger their starts. I personally, I think we did it 1 or 2 years where the 7th graders started one day when they just had the campus to themselves, and then the 8th graders joined them the next day. I mean, I think that's a great way to start junior high because it's so scary. So I'm just throwing that out there. I don't know if that's an idea that.
Half day.
Did they half day?
Did they do a half day? They practiced going to class, and that was it. It was a half day.
I think we took we heard some of your suggestions, and since we have some board members whose children experience it, we did try, based on that feedback from the board, to make the rollout a little easier. We did some team building activities and events with the kids. Whether they liked them or not, you can share. You have kids that experienced it. I think there were some T-shirts, and we've done some different things and try to do that. So that was the attempt to try to build, in the beginning, a little greater sense of team. So that was one of the suggestions, I think, from 2 years ago.
Yeah, many of those schools called them the
actually,
Palooza.
I'd be curious. I know you have
Palooza
kids.
events.
So.
We had LV Palooza, Parks Palooza. Yes.
I did have one question. I know we try to align with Fullerton Joint Union High School, and I appreciate, I'm going to have a high schooler next year, so that would be nice. But a question I was curious about the March 26th date. It's a no student, no certificated, and no classified, less than 12 months. Do you know what's happening on that day that we're not sending folks to school?
That was a holiday that they had at the high school. So again, to match what was happening at the high school, we put a holiday in for ourselves as well. Non-student, not a holiday, but a non-student attendance day.
So we're not using it as a prep for report cards, conferences?
We are not. No staff will attend that day, correct.
Have we ever done that?
We haven't,
Just a
but
random
again,
day
we try to stay consistent with what happens at the high school. What we've seen is if we have a day where high schoolers are not going to school, and our elementary and junior high school students do, we have a very high rate of absence on those days. So we try to avoid that if at all possible.
I know.
I just was curious if it would make more sense to have a day off in April, which has 0 days off, or even right before conferences for teachers to prepare and plan.
Oh, but the high school has it off, so you'll appreciate it come March 26th.
Is it? Okay.
But we
maybe
do
that's
have
why.
a lot. We do have, anytime we have a day when we're attending and the high school isn't,
Yeah.
you can definitely see the impact on our attendance rates.
Okay. So we'll celebrate Cesar Chavez.
There you go. Day of service. Okay, so this is just a first read.
Just the first read, yes. Any feedback or any information, please get
And will
that
you
to
be
me.
sharing this out with parent groups and all those that would like to see it?
Sure.
Yes, absolutely.
That would be great before we approve it.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Seeing that it's almost the end of the school year and we have a very busy calendar, do we have any requests from board members that we don't already have on our agenda?
I think we discussed that last year we had our MOU with our Fullerton Police Department around June. So I know it'll be the same this year. I want to make sure that when we have that discussion that we both have, we didn't exactly have an MOU. We had notes from a meeting, but I recently found those and shared them with Chad. So I want to make sure we're both discussing our expectations. And then I think if there is any kind of summary report of the ways that we've used that relationship in the last year. I know we've got the monthly, as board members, we get to see any call outs from our Fullerton Police that support us as needed.
Yeah, but that's not all. I mean, we want to know what they've
been up to,
what she's doing,
yeah,
what the
the impact,
where the visits are, what's happening.
Yeah,
is it making a difference?
And so, I mean, one of the things that we can also talk about is we've done some of the joint training. So the coordination, I think this year was the first year we did it with the high school. So we can share about the different things.
I think last year we had an entire presentation on approaches to safety, and relationship with Fullerton Police was just a tiny slice of that. I think if I would like to see more of a focus on that relationship and the impact it's having as we are discussing
With that
the MOU.
position, with that
That
position
position
itself.
specifically, the school liaison officer.
So we'll bring not only the potential contract, but I think what we want to bring is then the presentation for it, and I think we want to try to get also Bridges here as well. So we'll try to, it may be based a little on schedule, it might be the first or second one in June.
I know Ruthie said there was an email, but for those of us who are new, it would be great if we could get a copy of like the policies and procedures of what the MOU that we have with the police department. I would like to see what we can call them on and what we can't. Now that would be great. Thank you.
With that, anything else? All right, so we are going to adjourn until June 10th.
Yeah, after school.
Wow, yeah.
I
This is-
I